And we're live. It is the 18th of October, in the year of our Lord 2023. My weirdo drink today, and that would be the Rip It Energy that you can pick up for $1, sugar-free at Menards. If you have Menards near you.
I don't think we do.
This is active Mandarin live wild lime flavor. They have an orange citrus one, but this one tastes better. I basically get these when I'm at Menards because, well, you can't really get a 0-calorie energy drink for $1 anywhere. But so I usually pick up like 5 or 6 bucks. That's like my coffee in the morning. But I'm gonna be up late tonight doing this, so yeah, gonna be a thing. I saw your video with the fox. Very cool.
Oh, I don't know if it is a female. I say the foxy lady, but they're hard to tell with the red fox. But it's been around a few times. That's what I spent the last couple of days cleaning up dead shit. Like it's got a bird, and I don't know what it is. It was the tail of, I think, a skunk. Not sure. Yeah. But Jen caught it 3 more times on the camera. Within the last couple of days. It's only like it's half the size of her Nissan's tire. I think that's a 16-inch tire. So it's probably like a foot tall at the most. And I think it's one. I can't tell because every time it comes on, that light whitewashes it, so I can't see if it's different patterns or not.
There's a fox that roams around near my mom's house and up here too. She's taking pictures of it and showed it to me before. Kills all the rabbits.
Yeah. Although it's been a little chill. I haven't seen rabbits around. Although fox been around a lot. I haven't really seen rabbits last month or so.
Anyway, man, what's new? What's exciting? What's fun?
Not much. Like I said, clean up dead things the last couple of days. Crickets, got a dozen of them in here. The cats.
Your enemies that you buried in the backyard.
Yeah, them too. Oh, there's only 1, 2, 3 bodies back, and partial remains of 1. There's a dog, 2 cats, and I guess he would be my stepfather-in-law. His ashes are back there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being serious. Like, are you admitting to a murder here live?
Oh, I never admit to a murder.
Nice.
Although there was only one time that came close to happening.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, I don't care if you guys play Mortal Kombat, but no screaming or yelling, okay?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, no. I mean, Caleb is so much better at the game than so what happens is that pretty soon I'll just hear screaming from my other kid because she just can't get a win, and which is fine. C-Lab, you can play a character that you don't play all the time. Just letting you know. That's against me and you, though. Me and you were evenly, well, we're not evenly matched, but you at least have, provide some entertainment for him. My Caleb is just a smart ass about it constantly too. He's just
your kid is smart ass. I find that hard to believe, Lance.
He didn't learn it from me.
I'm sure the wife is the smart ass of the family, right?
I had that here. I'll remove that filter here. Hold on a second. I had to have that on because how did I do that anyway? I didn't remember. Probably some weird
setting. Caleb to go over there and fix it for you.
Yeah, no. So a buddy of mine who is a professor, I went to high school with him. Probably one of the smartest guys I know. He asked me. He said, he does he does a lot of political poli-sci classes, and he worked. Oh, excuse me. he worked for a couple of different senators at one, and more than once, like he was in charge of giving like briefings for like random situations, just all the time, like and he would meet and then they would be like, and he said that
they're assholes. Yeah, I knew that.
well, depending on who it was, it would be either like they barely pay attention, or just it was one of those things where and so he reached out to me and he said, hey, I mean, because his students were so used to like him playing the role of the person. He was like, he was looking for people that would make them like
you're gonna LARP.
Yeah, no. So he said, would you be comfortable playing like a undercover ATF agent who's been running with a motorcycle gang for a while, and you just came up because you basically haven't been in communication with
Charlie
Sheen, what's going on. And so like he had me do a mock security briefing, and so I had to use my my Zoom to do it. And of course now I can't find the settings or anything. And I did that because he said, hey, can you just make it look like it is like your house kind of thing? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I like found it, and of course now I can't find it.
Just it looks like your blurry house now. It's probably in the background somewhere.
No doubt. I got a fly bothering me as well. So anyway, so that was cool. I mean, can't figure it out.
Can't figure it out.
Of course, I can't figure out anything. Well, people will just have to deal with it until I find the guy. Gosh darn settings.
Gosh darn settings.
I go to the more button. It's like, when I go to the Zoom client, more. Maybe it's here. Ah, here it is. Settings. This is
fascinating.
Let's see here. And then video. Mirror my video. Background and effects. Here we go. There. I'm at the Golden Gate Bridge. No.
Yeah, I actually just watched something that mentioned that today.
What?
Like what?
It was an Irish comedian who lives out there, I think.
Okay.
But he does like this extreme shit. Like he used to rock climb and jump off of rocks, and all that. And he said he was out there. What is that when they surf with the parachute, parasailing? Is that what it's called? When they surf with the parachute behind them?
Yeah, okay.
He said him and a friend that were out there underneath the Golden Gate Bridge doing that. And all of a sudden he sees someone at the corner of eyes coming down. So he figured it was another power sailor, a power glider, whatever. Here it turns out it was a dude jumping off the bridge trying to commit suicide, and he grabbed onto the buddy behind him, and he was like fighting him for the surfboard that he was on, because he decided he didn't want to die all of a sudden, after he lived. Yeah. And he's like, all of a sudden, like a helicopter came and they were dropping smoke in the water, because that's the current's so bad there. They got to drop smoke in the water to try and figure out where it drugged people. And he was like, it was just nuts. And I was like, I could imagine doing something like I've been in situations where I had to do CPR and shit like that, but I could imagine like somebody jumping off a bridge behind me, like fighting me to grab onto a surfboard. Not that I would be out there. I'm Irish. We don't swim, but yeah. Yeah, but it's funny. I was just watching that today.
Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson.
It's a funny name.
It's a funny name. It is a funny name.
You're annoying.
Yeah, I agree. He is annoying. Does he talk about you or the kid?
How you doing? How you doing, Anthony?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Going through
day
the
in, day
change.
out, you know. Trying to remember what I guess it was something. Boy, the intranets are turning into a hotbed of nutballness lately.
would not
It's
know.
really annoying.
Well, no, everybody seems
Mm.
to know exactly what the answer is when it comes to Israel. And
When it comes to-
they aren't shy about sharing it.
When it comes to what?
Israel
Oh.
and Palestine, because it's been so peaceful there for so long. And
Yeah. I look at that like the Irish. It's almost the same thing, to an extent. But hopefully they'll figure it out eventually.
they
I don't understand. In my mind, what Hamas is that the organization?
Hamas,
Yes.
Hamas. To me, that is a straight out terrorist group. That is not Palestine.
Uh-uh.
It just may be me, and I don't understand why Americans are
No,
for
I
that.
can't.
That I don't understand, and why the media is pushing that. That I don't understand. To me,
Well-
Palestine and that is two separate things. They are a terrorist organization in my mind. Yeah, that happens to be, unfortunately, the head of Palestine. A lot of Palestinians there. Yeah.
I mean, I have my bullshit. I don't know anything opinion, but that doesn't mean anything because it is my bullshit. I don't know anything opinion. So, I mean, it's I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I really don't know enough about it to like make a statement on it, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, I don't. And I mean, I guess I kind of wish I did, but
So- I have figured out a way to end wars.
Was this
It's called the Super Bowl method.
Super Bowl moment?
Yes. So we find somewhere in the world, and that becomes the neutral site for all wars. And if you want to fight, you send your guys there against their guys, and you leave all of the innocent people alone.
Yeah.
And then whoever wins, that's it. They win.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that never happened. Yeah.
It would never happen because there's no outcome to make you end it.
Yeah. But like I said, this thing, and I see it just like the Irish. It's peace and then war. It's hopefully it'll finish it out, figure it out, like the Irish themselves. It's a shame all these people are dying. In hospitals and shit. But
well, that's the crazy thing. It's like, so now, I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, it's just like, so, the US has decided that Israel wasn't to blame for the explosion at the hospital. Okay, fine, whatever. I mean, they're probably right, whatever.
could be.
But if they were found responsible, would we have said it? Would we have said so? I mean,
I think it
don't know.
depends on how they rolled it out. If it were intentional, nah. But I mean, if it were, it's war. I mean, shit goes off track. I mean, it happens. If it were unintentional and they came out and said it was a mistake, yeah. But if they just hushed it up, then nah. Yeah.
It's
But
screwed
that's
up.
the thing, Barry. You just say it's a mistake. Whoopsies.
If it is, like I said, I don't. Did Israel say that yes or no? It was them or not? I thought somebody claimed it. I thought I thought Hamas or whatever they are claimed that they did it. I could be wrong. Like I said, I only watch news every 3 days because it's depressing.
Shiny happy clouds guy or whatever. He used to say that he didn't. They asked, "Do you watch the news?" He's like, "I don't watch the news. It's just bad news, man. I don't want to watch that." So
It's not even that. It's just I don't want to do the research to try and figure out what is the truth. It's coming to that point where it's even getting tougher to see what's the truth.
yeah.
Like I said, the Palestinian, I can see both ends. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of the Irish. You know, the English came in, fucked up with the Irish, and they split them apart, and they're fighting over whose land's who. And there's religion involved. It's the same with Israel. You know, to an extent, it's the same thing. Yeah, and like I said, hopefully they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
The difference between the Irish and this is if Southern Ireland were to put arms down, there would still be an Ireland. If Israel were to put arms down, there would be no Israel. You know, if Palestine put arms down, there'd still be a Palestine. But like I said, if Israel put their guns down, they'd just be eliminated. That's the bigger difference I see. You know. But enough about that. Moving on.
anybody play any games?
No, but I want to talk about a game.
What's that?
Talk about a game.
The latest game from Whirligig.
The social deduction game that
Holly
is
House.
Holocaust?
LGBTQ.
Yes,
What is it called?
it's called Molly House.
Molly
So,
House. I thought you
Molly
said
House-
Holocaust. I was like, that's
No.
an awful name for a game.
No, Molly House. So a Molly
Okay.
House historically were these clubs, we'll call it that, it was different at the time, where homosexual men could go and meet other homosexual men. And it was kind of like, this is the place you can do it. And then because all that was illegal at the time. But the other thing is like, they would some of them would dress up as women in it. So it's now I haven't read all of the things about the game, but Whirligig makes games that I really like.
Mhm.
And I think that it's a different theme. And it's not a theme. It's not a placating
Okay.
theme.
How was the game itself, though?
How is the game itself? I don't know. It's probably rule heavy with a lot of thing, but it's a social deduction game where lying is not part of the thing. Someone is not who they claim to be.
But but you don't lie. That doesn't
No,
make
it's not
any sense.
about lying. It's not about you're trying to deceive them. You're trying to stay hidden. You have an objective that you need to be met in the game. You have a different victory condition, is from what I can tell, than everybody else.
Gotcha.
And you don't win by necessarily sabotaging the other people. It's more about just making sure that your objective comes through.
So, like, the most fun part of any social deduction game about being backstabby and stuff like that isn't in the game.
Yes. Because a lot of people have that problem in playing games like that, where they have a very difficult time hiding. In other words,
I guess. I mean, and hey, if the game isn't for me, then that's fine. Not all games have to be for me, but I just can't imagine a social deduction game not having that being part of it. I don't know. That's weird. I'm sure it'll be great
yes.
because I enjoy John Company and I enjoy PAX Premiere, and I look forward to the whatever Traffic game getting its reprint.
Infamous Traffic?
Yeah, I played that once at a convention. I really enjoyed it.
Yes,
And
that's an excellent game.
it's heavy as heck. I'll
Yes,
say
it is.
that.
Well, that's Cole's wheelhouse.
It's just like, and the thing about that is that I thought maybe he won't reprint it, but he said it is going to be reprinted at some point. So I don't know.
I think he had to wait to get the rights back for it.
I thought it was because of the theme.
No. They had sold the rights to oh god, which company is the company that printed it?
Oh, I know, they printed it, and the game was like, made not horribly or anything like that, but it certainly wasn't,
Right. It was made. It was made what we refer to as war game quality.
Yes, because grognards don't care if their game looks stupid. That's why you can sell a game in a Ziploc bag to a grognard,
Yes.
and they're happy with it.
Yes, they are.
How's your train set coming, buddy?
So the thing with my trains is I got into it not because I was really into trains, but I kind of just wanted to build like a whole town.
Panoramics. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What are
I've
they
been
called?
building buildings and making trees from scratch, but there's no train layout yet. It's not even done yet. Like I haven't mapped out where it's going and so
It'll be a forest of shit with one track going down the center that just comes back.
it's gonna have probably a single loop track on it, maybe double loop track. That's it.
Is it
Then I
going to
have
go
like a whole
everywhere in
bunch
your
of-
house, go in and out of rooms? And
I have a whole room in the basement dedicated for it.
oh, I thought maybe you should have it so it just travels around your entire house.
No, because I don't care about the trains.
What do you care about?
Making the modeling end of
the
it.
modeling.
Yeah. He likes, what are they called? Where, the little miniature landscapes and shit.
Yeah, I like building. I like building terrain and stuff.
Yeah.
So
You ever miss doing the podcast there, Anthony?
there are times I do.
And then you come to your senses?
No, well, see, here's the thing. When I did the podcast, I did it with my friends.
Yeah.
And like I still talk to them, but like not like it's we're to a text message group that we talk in and whatnot, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like doing this. It's kind of like, hey, I get to hang out with my buddies on
Yeah.
and talk about games. And like that was the whole thing, is like we weren't like, oh, we need to get this many subscribers. I didn't care less if anyone was listening.
Yeah.
We enjoyed doing it. I mean, the fact that people listened was the bonus. But
Kabuki wants to know what scale. HO?
HO, yes.
Yeah. That's pretty
Which stands for half of O.
half of O.
And guess what's O?
So O is like the old Lionel trains.
Yeah. HO small.
You ever see the trains,
there's
the older
NL.
ones that have like the 3-track? They run 3 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
There's a center. That's O scale, usually. And that's like Lionel trains, right? The old stuff. But then HO is half the size of that. N is about half the size of that. And Z is like literally the trains are that big.
Yeah.
Aldi.
Oldie.
I do. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. How's
Okay.
how's your pledge managers?
I don't think it responded to me. Let me see. Check my email. Have we done the grievances yet? Did I come just in time for
You
grievance?
coming just in time.
Just in time.
What's your grievance?
What? Spit it out, Scott.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Don't. Fuck them. Don't.
We all know what the grievance is already.
Yeah, you guys know because I already posted.
Yeah. Don't let them have it, Scott.
I can't believe you couldn't send an email something along the lines of
Hold on, Scott. Before are all your facts straight?
Well-
We know how your memory is. Did they
I'm
try?
checking.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I went and searched my email. I did have a complete your pledge manager. One.
Okay.
Months and months and months ago. And nothing saying a second follow-up. So I missed it, of course. Yeah, I got nothing from them today. I think they're not gonna
totally
respond to me.
Karen this one.
I think they're gonna just not respond to me. Too bad. I mean, whatever. I mean, here's the thing.
Which
so I
game was
pledged
it?
for the Orc Quest game, which I think was not done by Monolith. Originally, it was a Kickstarter, and then I think I don't follow it. I think they came along and they took it over, like so it didn't just die. It was Orc Quest. I mean, it's a Hero Quest ripoff, right?
I guess.
Orquest Warpath board game, I think is what I bought. Yeah. Is that it? Maze Games was the original. And let me see how much my pledge was. See, it was very expensive. It was only 90. I mean, here's the thing. I wanted all of it.
350.
I would have alled in on the pledge manager had I completed the pledge. Anyway, so I got this thing was years ago. This was from June 7th, 2018. That's 5 years ago.
Yeah, it is.
So, I think Monolith came in and saved them from the brink of destruction.
Mm.
However, I don't think they're doing it correctly. Because 5 years is a long time. And then I didn't see the pledge manager. And I enter my address on those. I always fill out the survey and fill in my address. You have my address. You could pay me and send me an invoice. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that didn't happen. So I saw Orquest getting delivered and I'm like, oh, wow, that delivered. And then I go back in my email. I'm like, oh, I write to them and I say, can you please send it to me? Here's my new address. Because I suspect I'd never filled out the address of the pledge manager, right? I never saw it. Nope, can't do that. Well, the response was, let me read the response.
Okay.
Is anybody watching?
I'm watching.
Kabuki, the bot's here, but
Oh yeah. if I'm yelling into nothing. Where's the post that I shared? Hello, Scott. You never completed your pledge manager, and the fluent pledge manager, I don't even know what that means, was sent for 2 months ago. Was open for 2 months with several reminder. Not incorrect, not several. One reminder when it opened. I checked my email to let you complete it. It's no longer possible to help you complete it. Done. So, my $100 is gone.
Well,
I'm
like
not
I
gonna-
said, I mean, they should at least refund your money. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like,
That's what I said. I wrote back and I said, well, here's my new address. In case you want to send it, I'll pay for the shipping and you can refund me also here. And here's my mailing address. You can mail me a check. I'm not going to get anything.
you get
I
nothing.
mean, I
for it.
can't believe you. I mean, you should say, look, I own BoardGameGeek.com.
I don't, no.
No, but
I don't think that's-
not like as in, so you need to treat me differently than you would somebody else. Just
No,
say,
you don't even have to say it. You should sign the email. Scott Alden.
I should have said from all the Board Game Geek. By the
no,
way.
you should say Scott Alden, CEO
Do you think they would care?
BoardGameGeek.com.
Owner
Yeah.
and CEO of Board
But I mean,
Game
it
Geek.
just, I don't know. I just don't feel that's the right thing. That's not me.
Well,
I
but you
agree
could
with
phrase
you, Scott,
it,
but I
you
think
could
BGG has
absolutely
more
phrase
than
it
you
along
think.
something along the lines of, it's like this.
So
The copy of this game would be going into the Board Game Geek library.
sure, I guess that is a possibility.
And just say so people like every one of our conventions and our cruises, these games are available for people to play, and so it's just like that's what this goes to. I understand, but you can say I literally back every single campaign because I want every single game for the library,
That's fair. I think that's
And
a fair response.
and it's just like
I'm not that creative. I'm not that. I don't think
Scott, you want to hire me
that
to
quickly.
just
You want to
go
be
through
the
your emails?
spokesperson for the.
I'll
I
just
needed a
go through your
PR
emails.
guy.
for all your Kickstarters?
Yeah.
It's a full-time job.
Believe me, I think I'm stopping Kickstarters. I mean, I've slowed down massively, but
I'd
now
stop too,
I'm so
Scott.
mad. I mean, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about the game. I feel the fairness is not correct. I feel like the fact that they wrote an update that said, if you do not fill out the pledge manager, we will consider it your money a donation. No, it is not a donation. I'm paying for product. You made a post to make me pay for a product. I want the product.
well, the
Telling
good
me it's
thing
a donation,
is,
a donation, by the way, which sounds a bit like a charity.
Yes, it does.
The word donation is a charitable term. Anyway, I'm just so mad. It just made me madder and
I had
madder.
that happen once a while ago, and at that point, I didn't even care about getting the game anyway. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, I missed it. I know I missed it. And that one. I actually got like 14 reminders. And I kept putting it off, and then and something came up, and I totally forgot about it. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Anyway, the game is Orquest. The publisher is Monolith. support@monolith.com or monolith something game.
Well, the good thing
Here,
is that
here's the
if
link.
you think they didn't run the Kickstarter well, you can always send an email to Kickstarter and they will get right on top of fixing it.
Oh, would they?
Oh no,
I
they
can
wouldn't.
I can forward it to Kickstarter through my old boardgamegeek.com address.
They will not listen to it, and they will be like, it's not our
No one
problem.
cares.
We already got our.
I'll give them a day.
5%.
I mean, they're it's a European company. Here's the thing, full disclosure, they do advertise with BGG. There is a relationship there.
They used to.
Yeah.
Oh, now their
they
rate has
used to.
just gone up.
I mean, here's the thing. Are they? I don't really follow their other
The
games.
cost
like-
for you to advertise.
but I mean, I feel like
is
that
full
is
price plus one copy of OrcQuest.
I don't.
You should take the money for the advertisement and don't put the ads up and go, thank you for your donation.
Exactly. Thank you for your donation. That's funny. Yeah, but I'm sure that would be great.
Hey, this guy, you got a fake board game geek name? I don't want to know
I
what
do.
it is.
I do have a fake board game geek name.
How about putting a poll up to see how many other people this happened to, and then decide what to do?
I respond. I posted in the BGG thread about the pledge manager failed. I'm not the only person. I am not. This
Is
is
it a
5
lot?
years old.
Is it
The
quite
game
a
is
few?
5
or-
years ago.
I have a grievance.
Go for it. Although, wait, Scott, you feel your grievance has been adequately aired?
I think
at
I've
this point?
shared enough of the grievance. I mean, it's
Okay.
just. I mean, here
I don't want us to move on
it's a
to
minimal
another
amount of money.
grievance.
It's 100 euro. It's 90 euros, which actually that's kind of a lot of money.
It's the point, Scott. I
it's
guess.
the point of the thing. Like,
that is
okay.
a
The
nice
the fact that you
evening
created
out
a
for
company,
you and
I
your
mean,
wife.
you bailed out the company. So maybe you think you don't owe the people who backed you and gave you the money to that company anything, right? Maybe they think that. Maybe that's in their head.
Yeah,
We're
it
saving
should
this
be.
company. We don't
Yeah.
really owe anybody anything. You have to jump through our hoops, or we don't give you any reward.
No.
I mean, I wonder if I could call my Amex and see what's the statute of limitation on an Amex charge. Although
Call
here's
one
the
of
thing, it
your
went to
BGG
Kickstarter.
enforcers.
It's long gone. The money's gone.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, my chipboard is my pseudonym.
I didn't want to know. I just.
I don't want to tell what my pseudonym is
Yeah.
because then you'll be able to see me.
I'm just saying. I get some.
I've only used it for rooting out scammers.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
By
I
the
was
way,
just.
yeah.
I
I
just
don't
meant
use it
some
for any. I don't use it for any real reasons other than that.
I just meant for like a
I write geek mails
non-biased.
to people through the marketplace to see if they're scamming.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Just for a non-biased opinion,
Yeah.
something like that.
So
I'm done.
Okay.
this morning, get downstairs. Giselle's watching TV. It's like 7:30. And we're chatting. Her phone goes off. The baker's been at the shop for, I don't know, an hour and a half. There's a photo of the front of the shop. And basically the caption says, "This is what the front of the shop looked like when I got in this morning." There's potting soil on the sidewalk, and our planters are missing.
They dumped it.
Like we had 2 or 3 foot tall plastic planters from the hardware store or from the Rona or whatever, or Lowe's or whatever it's called. And they took there was nice red potted plants on top, like sitting on top of them. They took those, they put them on the benches, and they took the planters. And they dumped the
Nice.
soil that was in the top of the planter. Like,
How much do those planters cost? Just out of curiosity.
it's probably like $150 Canadian total.
So like $7.
$7,
Yeah,
$8 with the dirt.
that's exactly what it was, Lance.
But still, there's your $7.
That's why, Matt. They're too heavy with the dirt in, so they dump the dirt. To
Well, no,
carry.
there was
You
only this
know?
much dirt because I put basically a planter inside. I put a shallow planter inside of a deep planter, so it was only this deep.
Oh, okay.
So
how-
they
yeah.
took all that shit out, and
They must have needed those planters.
oh fuck, I don't know, man.
I think
So-
you pissed somebody off.
Do you
First
have
they
any
break the
camera- do you have
window.
any
Now
cameras
they're
going on or anything?
Pardon?
Do you have any cameras on the street or
So,
anything? I mean, Canada has
segue
just
to
got
my
lots of-
research this afternoon. I'm going to get, because we can't put holes in the building for one thing, and we can't get IP cameras outside. So I looked up what cameras can you put in behind glass, and there's like a really cheap solution. This Eufy company called Eufy. EUFY, and it's like $65 for one camera. So I'll get two of them and maybe three, one for inside the shop. And then, you know, we have our Wi-Fi in the building, in the shop. And then that connects to my home network here because it beams over with the nano beams and the Ubiquity stuff. And I'll just, I have a crap ton of drive space. I'll connect it to my Synology surveillance or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Synology. Yeah. And then we'll just store it there. But for you know, and then I looked up what is how much does a cubic foot of cement weigh? Because all I had in these things was
you just didn't. Yeah, you didn't weigh them out.
half dozen floor tiles, like ceramic floor tiles, to weigh them down enough.
So
But obviously it wasn't enough. So
50 pounds. No.
One-
How much is it?
one cubic foot of concrete or cement weighs 150 pounds,
Pounds? Okay.
which is surprising to me. So
I'm not.
the base of these things is 16 by 16. So I'm probably going to get a good 200 pounds out of these things.
Yeah, I was trying to do the conversion in my head. We go by yards when you buy it. It's cubic yard.
Yeah. Try
It's
and live
how
that
they're packed.
motherfucker.
And I was trying to do the conversion.
So, anyways, I asked OpenAI.
Yeah, good luck carrying that.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was just so ticked off. And they still
what did
sell
you
the
ask
planters
OpenAI?
that we had. Pardon?
What did you ask OpenAI?
How much would a 16 by 16 by 10 inch block
Okay.
of concrete
You
weigh?
asked to do some math and
Yeah.
Yeah.
some.
There's a good bit of
Physics
math.
calculation.
It's not horrible. It's just conversions and shit.
So
You gotta-
anyways, that really it just was the cherry on the cake of my day that I didn't need, you know? And it's just like, come on, fuck.
Yeah.
Piss me really.
Yeah, fucking
really-
sucks.
Like I was steamed for the whole morning about it, and apparently
Yeah.
right now again.
Yeah, I mean, it just anytime anything gets like stolen, it's just like it's fucking annoying. It's just kind of like,
Regardless of the value.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember
Or as my dad would say, irregardless of the value.
years ago, I remember I was at like I went over to a buddy's house. I mean, since I was like in my 20s, and I went over to a buddy's house and I just had a backpack. In my backpack, there was like, I mean, to this day, I mean, if you ask me now, I couldn't remember what was in the backpack, but it was like a couple of D&D books and some random things, and I just left it in the front seat of my car. Went inside, hang out with my buddy. You know, we sat around playing video games all night long. You know, I left his house around midnight, came out, car door was open, backpack was gone. It was like the change in my little thing was gone. I was just like, why? Just he really wanted a Dungeon Master's Guide and
Yes.
a clipboard with some graph paper. Well, I guess it's all yours. You know,
People
just-
don't care.
Yeah. I've had my car stereo stolen before a couple of times.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I
I've
had that
my car
happen to me
broken in
too.
a couple
I had
times.
my car stereo, like I had like an amp and subwoofers and all that stuff, right? Gone.
I've had my old truck stolen from me. That really pissed me off.
That wasn't too long ago, right?
Nah, that was decades ago.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. I thought that
I
happened.
found it down in the airport. They stripped it, the plow box, everything, the wheels, the boxes, the tool boxes, everything. Pissed me off. It just got a brand new paint job too. They had a recall on the paint. It looked like a brand new truck. Yeah. And the odd thing is, I lived in Kensington at the time, which is a horrible neighborhood.
Like in
now,
the
but-
UK?
Nah, well, I'm sure it was named after something over there. It's Philly, but it got stolen in Roxborough, which was a better neighborhood. You know,
Yeah. I don't know. It's such a fucking violation. I mean, it wasn't, you know, it paled in comparison to the whole rock through the window thing, but
Yeah, it's lame. Sorry, man.
it's-
I just really needed some planners.
people were assholes.
Um,
Is your neighborhood where the store is like iffy?
it's a good
or-
neighborhood.
Is it?
Well, except for the fight clubs that we had at the park in this summer,
Oh, that happens.
the teenager fight clubs.
Yeah.
First rule of
no,
Fight Club.
Pardon?
You know what the first rule of Fight
Nobody
Club
talks
is?
about.
Yeah.
I used to see all sorts of shit in the tunnels with them trains, like high up people. I ain't want to talk about it, but yeah, you'd be surprised. Yeah.
Non sequitur. I found out yesterday that who are Harry Shearer, Mike McKean, and who's the other guy from Spinal Tap?
Christopher Guest.
Christopher Guest. They all actually play their instruments.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Michael
They-
McKean, Lenny and Squiggy, baby.
Oh yeah, and then I watched that. Yeah, the Squig Tones.
Yeah.
Lenny and Squiggy.
Yeah, if you watch them, they're actually. It looks like there's, you know how you can see some people aren't playing; they're just moving their hand. Yeah, if you watch
10 years ago, they went on tour.
yeah,
Did they?
They
Yeah,
put out a
the
second
three
I do
album.
love that movie. It's such a good movie.
What movie?
Spinal Tap.
Final Tap.
Spinal Tap.
Oh yeah. I remember like somebody saying, "Have you seen Spinal Tap?" I was like, "No," and they're like, "You got to watch this movie." And I remember watching it. I was like, "Is this like?" I mean, because I didn't get that it was a mockumentary. I was like, "Is this like a serious thing?"
Oh.
I mean, I kept on saying, and then they're like about halfway through, they were like, "Yeah, this is like they're making fun of it." And I was like, "Okay, now I'm understanding what's going on now."
The amplifier capo.
I just love the moment where he's like, "I'd like to ask just a point of reference at this point. Are we doing Stonehenge tomorrow?" No, we're not fucking doing Stonehenge tomorrow.
The best line in the whole movie is when he goes, when Fran Drescher scene, and she explained the whole thing. She said, "Well, what's wrong with being sexy?" But he gets to the end of it, and she's like, "Oh, he did a twist. He goes, there's a fine line between clever and us."
Good movie. Paul Schaefer was in that
I
movie.
need to watch. I haven't watched it in a long time.
I watched it about
Long
6 months
time.
ago.
There's an extended version of it
Oh, is there?
that has like 6 extra scenes in it. Like the whole thing with Billy Crystal and Dana Carvey's a lot longer.
Well, you know what was weird? Like at the Monsters of Rock tour, Spinal Tap played at the Monsters of Rock tour. Like they
Oh,
wore
yeah.
full getup.
Yeah.
And they went and did their full albums, like, you know, and just and you know, and then there's there's a really good clip, you can find it online, where they're talking to Metallica and they're like, the Black Album, I wonder where you came up with this idea. And they're in full, you know, Spinal Tap rigor, and they're just completely and totally like just tearing Metallica apart and like saying,
I'm just
look.
as God made me, sir.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Have you been playing the guitar, Matt, or no? Too busy.
Yeah, I played my acoustic today at the office for a bit.
Did you?
I'm learning Sweet Child of Mine in first position.
Oh, all right.
So instead of it
You're doing
being
it with
like,
the
you know, instead of it
ENF.
being like up here,
It's up. Yeah.
it's down here. It's whoops.
I actually started the beginning riff down at the bottom there on the, you know, the 12,
It's just
15.
it's because it was on acoustic, right? So he does it like an acoustic version of it. It was really nice.
Yeah. I hit my first milestone with this guitar. I broke a string a couple weeks ago.
first string.
Yeah, on this guitar. And I went up a gauge because with my fingers I have a hard time. Sometimes I bend them. So I went up to 11s and it just totally changed the sound of the guitar. It's like a lot deeper. It's a lot meaner sounding. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, does Evan play drums? Because we can get an Alaboom band going.
I'm not that good at it.
Play bass, Anthony? What do you play, Anthony?
I'm a horrible guitar player.
Oh, yeah.
I'll sing.
Me and my brother I gave my brother an acoustic about 4 or 5 months ago, but my nephew plays bass, and we're like, all we need is a drummer. I'm like, oh, but the rest of the family's tone deaf. We're gonna have issues here. Yeah.
The Doors are awesome. Who plays bass? Yeah. Oh, I played new game on the weekend.
Oh yeah, games.
Romy
We
Rami.
ostensibly this is a gaming podcast, so go ahead.
Romy Rami.
Romy Rom.
Heard of it?
Steph played it the other day. It's like a little card game.
Oh, well, Steph played.
Any good?
Yeah, it's fun. It's just a very simple, like,
Is it
brainless
rummy?
card game. But I really enjoyed their iconography. The way that they showed 3 of a kind versus a run of 3 was really interesting. 3 of a kind was just a fan of 3 cards. A run of 3 was a fan with an arrow through it. That is good.
that's
I
smart.
like that. I'm gonna keep that in the old noggin. Also got my first play of Queen by Midnight under my belt, which was good.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Aldi, when you said, is it rummy? You made me think of the classic cheese shop sketch from Monty Python. Is it running? Oh. Oh, I like it running. I'm afraid it's been more runny than you like. And I don't care how fucking runny it is. And if you
And
don't
I
know the
picked
sketch,
up And I picked up a copy of Gutenberg.
Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg?
Gutenberg.
Just for the bits. Just
Just
because
for
it's
the
a printing
bits.
press game.
Yeah, the bits are not nice in that game for sure.
They're not?
They were nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a printing press game. So I mean, I kind of gotta
Yeah,
have.
it's good.
Speaking of printing presses, I came across, we had a meeting today with Lucky Duck about our weekly meeting for Food Chain. And we were talking about doing something like, so we're doing the map tiles with the roads are a dual layer board. So this second layer is the roads. So when you put the restaurants or whatever, they actually just kind of snap in sort of, or just kind of get a little nestled in. And then somebody was saying, well, what if instead of doing the dual layer, what if we did like drip off lamination or drip off varnish? I'm like, what the fuck is drip off varnish? He's like, it's like orange peel. I'm like, oh, that's not what it's called. I've been looking to do that kind of printing
What does that
effect for a long time. It's just
It
like an
looks
orange
like an orange
peel.
peel.
An orange peel
Oh, it's
feel.
ripply.
Yeah. So I'm like, that would be perfect for like asphalt.
It's like dimpled.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but I said, I'll see you one better. I'll say, we'll do the dual layer and we'll do the drip off varnish for the roads. But I think that fell on deaf ears because it was going to be too expensive. But yeah, so I came across this site. I Googled it and I came across the site and discovered a whole bunch more treatments that I'm like, oh, I got to explore these. I'll probably do a
Okay.
blog post about them or something.
Now I'm intrigued. So Matt, what do they do? They hang it upside down and varnish it?
No, I think I'm guesstimating. So you know how sometimes they'll basically they'll put the varnish on and then they'll wash it with another thing to curdle it.
Okay.
I'm assuming. So
My game group fell through this weekend, so I played a ton of BGA. A ton. I think I played like 10 games.
Pilot Imperium's coming to BGA.
Is it? Oh wow.
Mhm.
I won't play it.
No,
I just don't have it in me. But the best game I played was Forest Shuffle.
You don't
Heard
want to
that
play
before
Twilight
Shuffle?
Imperium with 6 people asynchronous and finish in 2026? Project gets delivered?
Maybe I would play if it was like the great group or something, but
I've still never played it.
me neither.
yeah, I played Forest Shuffle.
Ah,
Forest Shuffle's good.
I've played it like 5 times.
Forest Shuffle.
Twilight Imperium.
Oh, Twilight Imperium.
I played once and it was enough.
I played it 2 times. Once without the Age of Empire rule, and once with. Age of Empire rule is like I feel like a requirement, but no one knows what I'm talking about. Maybe it's in the more. I don't know if it's a variant in the original or in Twilight Imperium 3, but I don't know if it's in the latest. I don't know if it's.
I couldn't
it
even
might-
tell you
might
which
still be there.
what we played, what variation we played.
I played third. I played fourth once, and I played third all the other times I played. So
I never played it. I
don't know
thought I
what
did, but what was that Rex game? What was that based on?
that was
Remember?
based on Dune.
It's all Rex.
Okay. I thought it was based on Twilight Imperium.
Oh,
but it
Rex. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was the same world, but the idea behind
That's
it
a whole
was that it
different
was
game, yeah.
it was the Dune mechanisms but that's a tough game to get a hold of nowadays. It's like it's
Yeah.
considered to be a rarity.
Rail.
It's a
Well,
well, I don't know. I
that
mean,
was that was part of the fantasy flight. We do one print run and then we don't do it again.
Yeah.
so I mean, it was one of those things where it's like I had a copy and they printed off like 5,000 or 6,000 copies or whatever. So you can find them, but you got to pay about if you want one that's in shrink or in good quality, it'll cost you. It'll cost a couple $100.
It'll cost you a pretty penny.
It was like what was the other game they put out? The Forbidden something, wasn't it?
Stars.
I
yeah.
actually ended up
Stars,
selling
that's-
that because somebody
that's
made me
super
an
bad.
offer I couldn't refuse on that one. I ended up selling it because I
There's-
realized I was never going to play it. And
Oh, Anthony, there's a primer that's put on the paper, and then there's the high gloss, and they react to each other.
Okay.
Okay.
I was trying to figure it out because there's things that not like Army Painter and stuff use, but like some other companies like MIG and AK have these things that react with each other. They're pretty
Yeah,
cool.
there's spray paints that do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if it was a chemical reaction or it was just a let's vacuum it or quick.
No, apparently it is a
and-
chemical reaction.
Epoxy does some weird shit too. Some cool
I got to
shit
do this
too with-
effect now. I wonder how many printers will do it though, if any. So I
Wanna
did
hear
my
Forest Shuffle.
what's that?
You want to hear about Forest Shuffle?
What's Force Shuffle?
That was the best game I played this weekend. I played like 15 games.
Nice.
The
all right, tell us
you-
about it.
you either play cards or you draw two.
Yeah.
Done. No. It's a forest game. You're planting forests and then you're putting critters in the trees. Either
The forest game. What are you cleaning a toilet?
they tuck on the left or the right or the top or the bottom. So you have it's kind of fun how they all the the animals like sit in the forest. And it's basically like an optimization game. You're trying to, if I have 12 different types of butterflies, I'll score this many points. If I have a fox and a hare, like every time if I play a fox, I get a card for every hare that's in the, it's got like a thematic tie to it. There's a bear, there's a deer,
Okay.
plants, mushrooms that grow on the bottom of the trees, bugs. It's neat. It's basically like it's kind of a Terraforming Mars-esque type game. Like you're building a tableau and scoring points. And I thought I wouldn't like it, but I really do. Thought it was really good. I played it 3 times now. And did I talk to you guys about Sky Team?
Last week?
I don't believe so, Scott.
Because I played a lot of games on BGA this week. Sky Team is a 2-player co-op where you're trying to land a plane.
No.
One person is the pilot, one person's the co-pilot. And limited communication, which is kind of silly because you're
right next to each other.
but it's more fun if you don't communicate and don't like you play a die, then pilot plays a die, co-pilot plays a die, back and forth. You have to have your aileron, I don't know what that's called, level, your wings level. You have to have your flaps deployed. You have to have the landing gear down. You have to have your airspeed just right. Can't overshoot the airport. You have to radio the planes that are in your way to get out of the way. And then you have to brake. Oh, and then your engine speed is a thing. And then brakes when you land. Like if your speed is too fast and your brakes can't handle it, you crash. There's a lot of ways to crash. There's like 10 ways to crash. And there's one way to win. Perfect landing. It's
Perfect
cool.
landing.
Really good. I mean, I thought it was going to be lame, but I was solidly impressed. I played it a couple times now with Keith, played with Keith and another friend who's into planes.
Wait, with Keith, where?
BGA.
Oh, I must have. I didn't get my invite.
Missed your invite.
Yeah,
You would have come on.
you don't know that.
It's with the car that's picking me up, Lance.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So those are the best games I played. And Sea Salt and Paper, I really like. Did we talk about that?
You talked about it
We
before.
haven't
I've talked about that.
Yeah.
Lance,
That keeps coming back.
Lance, Scott sent at least several reminders for the invitation. So
At
thank you
least.
for the donation.
Yes. Yes, thank you for the
Thank you
donation.
for the
I'll see you
donation.
next year, maybe.
Maybe.
Thank you for the donation.
Oh, where our pallets from Essen arrive on Friday.
Oh, that's cool.
How many pallets?
2.
I got my flight info.
That's all.
400 games.
I get
400
in on-
games.
I get in on Tuesday. They're
Tuesday. Oh, that's cool.
they're Scott.
See you at the airport or at the hotel. Not the
Yeah.
airport.
Oh,
I have
you're
another
not-
grievance.
Scott ain't going to the airport.
You aren't sending me a car?
Which are you landing on Southwest or are you coming in on DFW?
American. I'm doing DFW.
It's going to get you right at their pickups, Anthony.
Yep.
Me,
First,
I'll
the
be,
one
me,
that-
and, me and Andy are flying
You
together.
guys
He's
can
I get picked up first.
He's gonna-
Can you guys share a
Anthony's-
ride? Can you ride share?
Anthony's gonna get picked up by car at his home, and they're gonna drive, and we're gonna
Gonna
make
drive.
it. So and then they're gonna drive all the way to Dallas.
Where do you live
They're
in?
gonna pick me up from the airport.
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
That's a bit of a drive.
A little bit.
That'd be like a 3-dayer, probably.
Nah.
Anthony's committed to do it though.
I got down there in an
Maybe-
hour a day rather straight. So Anthony would add about
Yeah, I know,
I
but
have to be a
5
special
hours.
but
guest.
you're a
though.
monster.
Now this was all Jen. I was planning to stop this time. The last time I drove straight
He
through
was like,
myself.
let's go 12-hour plus.
But Jen, we got to where were we? I said I want to get past
Carolina?
Memphis. No, we were in Arkansas. I said I want to get past Memphis. Definitely.
Memphis. Yeah, Memphis is 8 hours straight. Is 8 straight hours.
I
And,
was a
we
special
just kept
guest
going.
at BGG when they didn't just give it
Before
to
it was cool.
everybody.
So we have some special guests this year.
Who we got?
Me?
Eric Lang.
Mm,
He's like a
Yeah.
special guest every year.
He's a good special guest.
mm,
Matt Leacock.
mm.
Martin Wallace.
He's like a special guest every year.
Alan Moon.
Oh, smooth.
Dwight Sullivan. No one knows who Dwight Sullivan is.
No, no.
Who's that?
Only me. He's a board game designer and he works in the pinball.
Oh, the
industry.
pinball guy.
He's a pinball
Okay.
guy. His day job is pinball, but his side job is board game design. He's a board game. Lance knows him.
I know.
You guys printed one of his games.
Yeah, I know. He's.
Who else? I'm probably forgetting somebody. Our Family Plays Games is a special guest.
Okay.
We're doing the puzzle hunt this year. Dave, I got off the phone with Dave, and
So you're doing 2 trivia things?
there's one trivia thing.
Well, there's
a puzzle
Christina
hunt.
and Shoes thing, and then there's this
Christina and
high
Shu are
energy
doing the
one.
game show. What were you
And then
asking?
there's this high energy trivia thing.
Oh, I don't know anything about the high energy trivia. Who's doing that?
Hold on.
Is that Shu?
No, it's not. They're like, well, we have competition.
I didn't even know this is happening. This is not a sanctioned event, or if it is, I don't know about it. I
It was
forgot.
posted in the BGG.
What? You know what? You know what? It might be some other. I know who it is. Maybe is it Barry?
Hold on.
Is it
No, it's
Dr.
not
Barry? Is it Dr. Barry?
It is. It is. Ricky Tada.
Oh, Ricky Tada. No, he's a game designer.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome.
He's
For
really
a high
great guy.
energy quiz event.
I didn't know. I think I remember that. I didn't. Yeah, I forgot about that.
You know. I mean, and it's too late, but you should really see if you can get Gordon Hamilton one time.
Gordo.
So
Gordy?
Gord,
Gord.
the guy who designed Santorini.
I never met him.
He is like one of the nicest, coolest guys I ever met in my entire life. He's like a big math guy. He's a math professor. He hosts a math pickle event that during COVID he live streamed it for kids that they could just so they could just log in and now he does and he hosts them constantly and he's just always like doing like, hey, what happens if we do this with math and how does it work with this math? And he works on these little puzzles with kids and he asks them to help and he's just like, yeah, he is like, but he's also huge on like the history of board games and like, you know, how mechanisms got formed and started. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's a super, super interesting dude. And like I said, he made Santorini, which
He's
obviously
a
has sold
righteous
a couple.
dude.
It's
I'm
sold-
probably
and he-
forgetting other, but Jeff Engelstein's going to be there.
I like him.
I got to meet Jeff.
Grant's coming. Grant's doing his set again. We
Oh,
have a
good.
band. We have a nerdcore band.
Ooh.
Guys, yeah. Like there's
Is Grant a special guest?
he's a special guest. Yeah.
Am I? a
Yeah,
special-
remember I hooked you guys.
Matt,
up
you
the
are a
first
special
time?
guest doing not, but you didn't commit to doing anything.
You
You're
asked
just
me if
showing
I
up.
wanted to do. Nobody wants to get my fucking meet me.
You don't know
Hey,
that.
You never know until you put something out there.
Do you
But
need
it's
me to
okay.
do you need me to MC your conversation again?
Well, no, I'm happy to do something if you think it'll
Okay.
actually.
No, it's fine.
No. I mean, I don't want to poop. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk.
If you want to put something on the schedule, we can do it. I mean, here's the thing, that schedule is tight. Like it's a lot of stuff. It's gonna be a busy show.
If you send the car to Ottawa first, and then you can loop
Then goes to Connecticut.
out to
Yeah.
Connecticut, and
Well,
then
no,
Matt and I can stop every Bucky's on the way and give your name.
They know me there.
There's not too many
I've
buckets
got a
all the
booth-
way
I've got a-
there.
I've
You
got
got
a,
an account?
No,
Well,
I
I
have
gotta
Oh,
have
did
my
you-
own,
I mean, this isn't gonna. I actually saw somebody like throwing shade at Bucky's.
I'm sure
There was
about
like
that,
some
but-
case. There was some court case where basically this guy, in Texas, he got pulled over by a cop in a parking lot at Bucky's. And they were gonna take and like the guy was like, you can't give me a ticket. This is private property. You don't have any jurisdiction in private property. And they're like, well, I still need to ID you. And he's like, no, I don't. Long story short, they arrested the guy, and then they ended up having to drop the charges, and they recognized it because they didn't have any jurisdiction, because that's a thing. And I guess in Texas, it's like if you're you can't be ticketed for like if you do a driver infraction on private property, like Texas cops can't do it. They can't give you a ticket for it. Now, it doesn't mean if you like, if you have a gun and you're running through the parking lot, yeah, they can absolutely stop
Yes,
you. And
that is completely correct.
yes. So anyway, so the thing is that the guy was like, well, he only had one dash cam, but he couldn't, and he was just like, and so then like the whole thing was just that like he asked Bucky, so it's like, can I have the security footage of your of your parking lot, because I didn't do what they're saying I did, and this is BS that the guy like pulled me over. He's like, and arrested me for no reason. And Bucky's says, we will provide our video for free to police officers, but anybody else has to pay for the thing. And he was just like, why do I have to pay for it? It's just like, and they're like, well, that's our policy. And so now he's like mad at Bucky's because
there was something else Bucky's recently too. I feel like there was something with a hidden camera.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't go to Bucky's. I'm sure, continue getting your treats at Bucky's.
I mean, I love the Bucky. I mean, don't get me wrong, but
He loves the Bucky.
Oh, I have another grievance.
What's your grievance, man?
These
It's a
Canadians are
grievance
all
with
just
a silver
complaining.
lining.
What's that?
It's a grievance with a silver lining.
Okay.
I got an
Usually the
email
Canadian
from-
grievances
I
are.
got an email from Adobe
Huh?
saying that my subscription fee for per month was going to go from $38.99 to $86.29.
Wow, that's a jump.
wait, what?
My Creative Suite license, and it used to be all you needed to do was go online and say, I'm canceling this thing, it's too expensive. They're like, whoa, we'll knock it down for you to $38.99 or something like that. Yeah, it let me cancel, no problem. I'm like, oh shit, now I don't have a fucking license.
Yeah.
So
The son
So-
of Bucky's co-founder arrested for hiding cameras in home bathrums.
And
That
it-
was-
home bathroom.
Home bathrooms.
Yikes. Was he to go
That's
for
the
like dinner
alleged- that's
somewhere?
They're facing
Allegedly.
28 state felonies for invasive.
Somebody might
village
be
visual
stealing my
record.
fancy soaps.
I know, like, believe me. You think that's what they're doing? I don't know. Curious
Anyways,
what-
silver lining was I called and I got the discounted price. We're good. But the fact that I have
Why'd they
to
raise the
fucking call
price?
to get that was pissed me off.
what was the price hike?
From $39 or $40 to 85.
Sweet Adobe Suite.
It was no longer
You
sweet.
don't buy software anymore. You're renting it. It's
Yeah.
I know it's
like an
bullshit.
endless cycle.
Everything is like
You
that.
never can pay for anything anymore.
But
Oh,
one
yeah.
phone call saved me $600 for a year.
You just said you were
yeah.
going to cancel it if they.
I said
you
I'd
tried to
love to
cancel
I'd
it?
love to renew, but I can't afford that at that price.
Of course.
And they're like, yeah, I'll see what I can do for you. How about we
Huh.
knock it down to
They-
what you were paying?
Retention specialist.
Uh,
Put on retention.
Yeah, I've been a customer for years and years and years. So
Well, it's like Sony Vegas. I mean, I have Sony Vegas, and I mean, and it's like it's on my laptop, and of course, I tried to find my registration key just so I could like install it on my other thing. I can't find it anywhere on my other computer, so I'm like looking at rebuying it, and I was just like, what? And you can't just buy it outright anymore. You can't just,
Yeah.
pay a few $100s and just own the thing. Oh no, look at all these different options we have for you to, pay for us to have a requesting AI companion. Why do you want AI companion?
I want to see what it does.
No, we're not using AI. Sorry, not now. We're not using AI. AI is the
Oh,
devil.
wait.
Uh,
Got
I used
something.
to know
new,
a
right?
friend of mine here in Ottawa.
By the way,
that-
this is how this got shipped. Sticker on the box.
Are you
This-
kidding?
This is
What
it.
is it?
Yeah.
What
I
is it?
noticed that Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, very cool.
The,
The
horror.
horror.
Ultimate horror. Just gotta throw the game out. Just keep the cards. I
Uh,
don't care about the game.
If I was a horror fan, I think I'd like the Saw movie.
I watched Saw 2. That movie is not good compared to Saw 1. Saw 1's like fucking Citizen Kane compared to Saw 2. Saw 2 is not good. I watched it.
mm,
Not enjoyable.
no.
Oh, hey, so Dan Blacklock, who did
The Dan Blacklock.
the
That
game,
one.
the box throne organizer system and the Project Ironside's game table last year. It was like the $400 game table, the all metal one.
Yep.
He went on Dragon's Den Canada, and because
cool.
he's from Alberta, and he goes on there, and he comes out and he does it. It was like he did a complete like campy shtick with like his the king and the there was like trumpets and stuff like that and knights and shit, and it was very, very funny. But
Did he get a deal?
well, they're like joking, they're like not even taking him seriously, and he was looking for 250 grand for 7%, and I think he was just looking for the expertise of the dragon. But they're all like just joking around, and then they said to him like, well, what makes you think your company is worth blah 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 blah. He's like, well, we did a Kickstarter last year. Oh yeah, what did that raise? $6.8 million. And they're like,
Yeah, then they get
they all kind of sat up in their seats.
Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
about the sales to them. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
The
And
bottom
then
line.
they took him seriously. And I think at one point for Robert Herjavec, he's like, yeah, who's laughing now? Dan said.
Geek Chic was on Shark Tank,
They were, yeah.
and they got a deal.
And where are they now?
Not really.
Nobody.
Didn't really get the deal.
I heard like
It never
80% of the
finalized.
deal fall
I
through.
believe it never filed. I think it never finalized.
No, they never finalized.
Could be wrong.
After due diligence, hardly any of the deals actually get finalized.
I got a
It's
grievance.
the concept. I like the show, but yeah.
What's your
reality
grievance?
Jen bought me Cracker Jacks today. But
No
it says-
prize.
It says Cracker Jill on the thing on the bag, but the price says Cracker Jack. That's false
But yeah,
advertising.
it's cheaper to make a bag than it is to do all the
Mhm.
prizes.
And the
What
prize
is
is
Cracker Jill?
it's
An annoying
celebrating
white
women in sports. It's Cracker Jacks. They just said Cracker Jill.
Oh, I
instead.
thought maybe it was like something like it didn't have nuts in it.
Nah, it's the
Wrap,
original.
wrap, wrap, wrap.
I think that's probably what it is.
The
I think
prizes
that's
are
right.
pretty cheap though. It's like,
Right.
I'm a little offended that it doesn't come in a box.
nah, it says the original. It's just they say Cracker Jill.
Cracker Jacks is supposed to come in a box.
Now when you get the big bag.
You want to do some Trivial
You want to
Pursuit,
do some
Scott?
horror trivia? I don't know.
Sure.
I've not looked at any of these questions yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, lay
Could be
some
terrible.
on us, and then we'll
All right,
do
see if
some
anybody.
initials.
All right, what's the categories?
I don't watch horror movies, so you
Pentagram.
answer them
Me
all.
neither.
What are these categories? You want to know the categories?
No, just start asking questions.
Well,
Don't
all right.
give us the categories. They'll give us hints.
In The Omen, 1976, what weapons were the only things able to kill the Antichrist? I think I know.
Omen?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a dagger?
I think it was.
Silver Dagger.
Yes.
Mhm.
The Seven Sacred Daggers of Tel Megiddo. That's probably not how you say that.
I remember because he
Yeah, there was seven daggers.
He charges Damien with with daggers in his hands, and he gets shot by the cops. And then at his dad's funeral, like he turns and looks at the screen, and his eyes glow a little red or something, and then the music plays. So
I love you, Damien.
Spoiler, Lance. What
I'm
part?
not going
body,
to apologize for a 50-year-old movie.
What part of the body? What part of his body glows when Godzilla uses his radioactive breath?
Is the spikes on his back?
Yeah.
I
call
was the
it fins.
testicles. but-
Fins. They fins.
Testicles. Yeah.
What 1963 film directed by Herschel Gordon Lewis is generally recognized as the first splatter film for its gory, over-the-line content? 1963.
1963.
Herschel
Ooh.
Gordon Lewis, generally recognized as the first splatter film for its gory, for the time content. Gosh, I don't know that one. Kabuki Kid knows it. Blood Feast.
Well done, Kabuki.
Never heard of that one.
I've heard of it. I've even seen it. But
This one's too hard. What are the last name of the children? What is the last name of the children imprisoned in the novel Flowers in the Attic from 1979?
Oh,
shoot,
I seen
I
this.
know
You know the name?
this.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, I never read that book.
Oh, I could hear it.
I remember like that. Those are like the books that girls read those books in their teenage years because they weren't supposed to because they dealt with like
Starts with a
sex
D.
and stuff.
As in dog.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Douglas.
Dollenganger. You know that one?
It does even when you said it, it didn't prompt a oh yeah. So
What's
I
the name of the disembodied hand in Addams Family 1991 films?
Thing.
thing?
Policewoman star Angie Dickinson played the victim of a disturbed psychiatrist in which film?
Oh my gosh,
You know
Carnal
this one.
knowledge.
You know this one.
I do know this one.
Not Carnal.
What's the question?
Policewoman star Angie Dickinson played the
Oh
victim
my!
of a disturbed psychiatrist in which film?
And she
think
gets
Michael
killed.
Caine.
She gets
Michael
killed
Caine.
super early.
Michael Caine was in that movie.
Yeah, and she gets killed. Dressed to Kill.
Just to kill.
Yeah, because
1980.
it's just this like giant surprise. Like she gets killed like in the first like 35 minutes of the movie. It was spoilers. I don't care. It's an old movie, but yes. And guess I remember seeing that as a kid because like when she tries to because she leaves the she has a one night stand.
Car, right?
Well, no, she has a one night stand, and then
That's
she
not
gets
a
up.
horror movie.
Well, it's suspense.
It's a thriller.
And then she gets up and
It's a psycho.
and then she sees that the guy she just slept with, I think, has like herpes medication or something like that. And so she leaves in a big hurry, and then she realizes that she forgot something in the apartment. And so she goes to the elevator and she goes up and it opens up this person like attacks her with a straight razor. And I remember there's this scene where she puts her hand up, and I remember the straight razor cuts her hand, and the blood. I remember as a kid, I was like, "Oh my god!" It just,
Yeah, that's a harsh movie. I remember that movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a harsh.
What
harsh
company did Damien run as an adult in Omen 3: The Final Conflict?
Amazon.
You'll never.
movie. Ah, you stole my joke.
And it was a Thorn Corporation.
Yeah.
True or false? The first 5
False.
Godzilla films were filmed in black and white.
The what?
False.
The first 5 Godzilla films were filmed in black and white. True or false?
I would say true.
False. Only the first 2
Oh,
The first two.
were filmed in black and white.
Like
Before he-
there've only been 4 Black Godzilla.
Before he filmed Middle Earth Epics, what director rose to
Jackson.
fame with gore fest like Bad Taste and Dead Alive? Yeah, Peter Jackson.
You know what's a good movie by him? The Frighteners.
Yeah.
The
Very
Michael J.
good
Fox.
movie.
Who played twin gynecologists in David Cronenberg's film Dead Ringers?
Wasn't it Alec Baldwin? No.
Billy Zane.
I can picture the scene with the
Pee Wee Herman?
No. It's a good
Uh,
question.
Herman.
His first name starts with a J.
Oh, the English, not English. Irons.
That's right. Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy.
What camp did Wednesday and Pugsley Adams attend against their will and Adams' family values?
Oh, it's like
Oh.
Chief Wahoo or something
Yeah,
weird like
Chief
that.
Wahoo.
Camp
That's what-
Chippewa.
Chippewa.
Camp Chippewa,
Mhm.
yeah.
What character was known as the celluloid killer in the film Fade to Black? Good luck with that.
I've never seen that.
Never seen it either.
Yeah.
Eric Binford. Okay. Couple more.
Oh, Eric Binford.
What is the name of Robert De Niro's devilish character in Angel Heart?
Oh, Lou Cipher.
Louis Cipher.
Yes,
Louis
yes.
Cipher. That's what his name, yeah.
Nice. What kaiju foe of Godzilla's was attracted to pollution and vulnerable to
The
dryness?
smog monster.
Yeah, what was his name? Hold on, I know it. Mm. Can't get it. Can't get it. I don't got it. Hedorah,
Hedora.
also known in the US as the smog monster.
Mhm.
There you go. In Dead Silence, 2007, who is the dead ventriloquist who cuts people's tongues when they scream? Dead? Deaf. Dead. No, dead. Who is
Make
the
up your
dead
mind, Scott.
ventriloquist who cuts people's tongues when they scream? I mean, the font is friggin' tiny. I mean, look at this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Very
Yu-Gi-Oh
small.
font.
What's that?
Like Yu-Gi-Oh
It's very tiny.
4-point font.
Mary Shaw apparently is that person. How many years after the original film was Psycho 2 produced? 3, 13, or 23?
23.
23.
23. Psycho 2 was released in 1983. What was the name of the devilish character? I feel like this is the devilish character Jack Nicholson plays in The Witches of Eastwick, 1987.
Oh.
Isn't his name Jack something or other?
No,
Oh, my wife just watched that.
it's Daryl something. Do you know the last name? Daryl.
Larry. My other brother, Daryl.
Daryl.
Daryl Van Horn. These are hard. Which holiday themed horror film cast Happy Days guest star Roz Kelly as the lead Mother's Day, New Year's Evil, or Halloween? As the lead. Mother's Day, New Year's Evil, or Halloween? Roz Kelly.
Mother's Day.
New Year's Evil. Oh, let me find some questions where we might know the answers. Well, she was one of Charlie's Angels. What was the name of the pyrokinetic child Drew Barrymore played in Firestarter?
Firestarter.
What was the name of the character?
Firestarter.
No. Oh, I read the book too. What the fuck?
Charlie McGee. When sunlight hits the skin of the vampires in Twilight,
They twinkle.
what happens?
It's sparkle.
They
It
sparkle.
sparkles.
Fortunately, they're in the dust like regular vampires.
What 1974 film was inspired by the true story of Ed Gein, known as the Butcher of Plainfield?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
That's correct. What actress plays adult star Holly Body in the Brian De Palma film Body Double?
Meg
Melanie
Ryan.
Griffith. Melanie Griffith.
Melanie Griffith.
I knew it was one of those M's.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
That's
a weird movie too.
Halloween star Jamie Lee Curtis also starred in which 80s thriller about a killer she unmasks on the dance floor? Didn't know that. Prom Night.
Ah, that's what I
Oh,
thought. It
yeah.
was, but
You know that one?
yeah, I've seen that one.
In Lair of the White Worm, 1988.
Ooh,
The Lair of the
good
White Worm
movie.
was based on the novel by the same name by which famed vampire author?
I know this.
Bram
And
Stoker.
Ice.
Bram Stoker.
was it?
Yep.
Who played the Grand High Witch in The Witches, 1990?
No idea.
You guys ever see that? I don't think I ever saw that one.
If you're looking for a fun kind of horror / dark comedy, American Mary. It's pretty good. I liked it a
Good.
lot. Yeah. About
That would be
body, like
Angelica
the-
Houston, by the way.
What's that? Oh, was it?
Angelica Houston played the Grand High Witch in The Witches.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Let me skip some of these. I think we might be able to answer. Some of these are not gonna get answered, I don't think. Golly, these are ridiculous. And getting harder. All right, here we go. In what film remake did Robert De Niro play convicted rapist Max
Cape
Cody
Fear.
Cape
who
Fear.
killed during a fight off the North Carolina
Mount,
coast?
wherever you are.
I like that. That was a good movie.
Yeah. Both of them were. I seen
Was
the
it
original.
Robert Mitchum who played the original one?
Yeah,
Yep.
and they're both in the what you call it? They're in the remake.
Oh, are they both in the remake?
Which
you
Brat
present
Pack
Summer Star?
actress revealed in her 2019 autobiography that she had been the model on the titillating poster for the iconic revenge film I Spit on Your Grave, 1978. Brat Pack actress.
Ali Sheedy,
No,
Demi
Molly
Moore?
Ringwald.
Demi Moore.
Mm,
That was just a guess.
Which cult film about a rampaging fruit, not a vegetable, was released in
Attack of the
1978?
Killer Tomato.
Attack of the Killer
Tomato.
Tomatoes.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Isn't that how it goes? Something like that. Which star of The Crow 1994 died during filming?
Brandon
Hey.
Lee.
That's horror.
True or false? Bela Lugosi never
The Crow kind of.
wore fangs while playing Dracula.
That's
True.
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 I just rewatched that the other day. It's on I think it's on Hulu or something. I watched the original.
The original Dracula. Is it good?
Ah, that's really good.
You ever watch Ed Wood?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before hanging with a party of five, Neva Campbell started with three other teams that formed the
Dream.
High School Coven in which 1996 film?
Oh,
I know this one.
I know this one too.
Circle.
Black Man. No.
The Coven?
Yeah.
No.
oh, The Craft.
The
The
Craft.
Craft.
Yeah, I remember. I had
Robin
a friend who was.
Tunney,
I had a friend who was
Peruse
just
the Ball.
I
obsessed
love The
with that
Craft. The
movie
music
to
was
the-
so good. I loved it.
Just
Yeah,
obsessed with the movie to the point where it was annoying. It was on his TV every single time you came over to the house.
It was
Just
her.
like, dude, do you
Robin
own
Tunney,
another
and
movie?
Star Trek and Mission Impossible star Simon Pegg starred and co-wrote in what zombie film?
Dawn of the Dead.
Dead.
Mhm.
Okay. Skip.
Great
sorry.
movie.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz was good too, but that last one they did, like the end, that wasn't as good.
The End? I don't think I've seen that one.
What gothic horror soap opera ran on ABC television from 1966 to 1971?
Oh, they did that horrible movie on it.
It was like a Jack Sparrow. What that guy?
Yeah.
In the Shadows.
In the
something
sh-
like that. No.
No. Dark Shadows.
Dark
Dark Shadows.
Shadows.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows is a fantastic TV show.
What is the name of the maniacal hitchhiker Rutger Hauer plays in The Hitcher?
The name?
Yeah, what was his name?
I don't think they ever gave his name. It was just the Hitcher.
There's a name here in this answer.
That is a fantastic movie.
That's a scary. I hate that movie
I haven't seen
because
that.
it's not
Is it-
happy.
No,
And
it's
then-
not at all.
Usually horror movies. aren't
John
happy.
Ryder was his name.
John Ryder.
That moment where he's like he sees the station wagon pull by and all the families inside smiling and everything like that, and then like the little stuffed animal pulls aside, you see Rutger Hauer's face and he's smiling at him.
What is the name of Michael Keaton's character in the self-titled horror comedy who would appear if his name was spoken 3 times?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice 2? It's in final editing.
Who played the invisible scientist who goes mad in Hollow Man?
Kevin Costner. No, Kevin
Bacon.
Bacon.
Bacon, yeah.
Bacon.
You got me stuck on Costner there. But
Who wrote the book Watchers in 1987, which spawned 3 films loosely based on the novel. I never saw any of that.
Watchers?
Watchers.
I couldn't
Would
tell
it
you.
be Dean
Stephen King.
Koontz?
Kuntz, I was going to
Kuntz.
say Kuntz, but I wasn't sure.
Koontz.
Which X-Men, what X-Men actor played the vampire killer in Van Helsing 2004?
Hugh Jackman.
Jackman, yeah.
Yep, Hugh Jackman. What 1990 film by Joel Schumacher featured Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts as medical
Lost
students
Boys.
performing
Oh, Flatliners.
near-death experiments? Yeah.
Billy Baldwin.
He was in a bunch
well.
of weird Lost
forget
Boys,
him.
Flatliners, Jacob's
Oliver,
Ladder.
Oliver.
What is the name of the
Black?
wax museum Paris Hilton's character visits in the 2005
House-
remake of House of Wax?
Oh,
Any idea what the name of it is? Mrs.
Not-
Trudy's House of Wax.
Not a very good movie.
Not a good movie.
hmm.
What Keanu Reeves film starred Al Pacino as a
Devil's
devilish,
Advocate.
devilish
yeah.
lawyer?
That's a
Devil-
pretty good movie.
What non-canon Doctor Who played Dr. Van Helsing in 5 Hammer Dracula films?
5.
So what non-canon Doctor Who played Dr. Van Helsing in 5 Hammer Dracula films?
So he's not one of the 12 or 13 or whatever number they're up now.
He played a version of Doctor Who in 2 films.
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing.
I am not a big Whovian to know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Before being cast as Lois Lane, Margot Kidder starred in what holiday-themed slasher film?
Mother's Day.
Black Christmas. Who played the obsessive stalker Alex Forrest, who boiled a pet rabbit in Fatal Attraction?
Glenn Close.
Blake-
Yeah,
Blake-
Glenn Close.
1940s comedy about duo Abbott and Costello, and met many classic monsters in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. But who did they not encounter? Dracula, the creature from the Black Lagoon, or
Creature of
the
the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, Black Lagoon.
Yeah, but
director John Carpenter cast his then wife Adrienne Barbeau in what ghostly seaside film?
The Fog.
I
Good
am
movie.
not. a
What
horror.
rock icon played an aging vampire hybrid in The Hunger?
Wade Springfield.
Billy Idol.
No.
wish I knew what year. Is it?
1983.
It actually says that. So
Mr.
Stones?
In parentheses.
Who?
Kabuki Kid got it.
I'm drawing a blank.
Bowie?
David Bowie.
Huh.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'd never seen that movie.
Who did Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis insist New Yorkers were going to call in the smash 1986 comedy of the same name?
Ghostbusters?
Uh-huh.
What a dumb
Jennifer Love
question.
Hewitt and Sarah Michelle Gellar starred in what film where they are stalked by a killer using a hook?
Oh, I know.
Uh,
what you did
Did
last
last
summer.
summer.
Yeah,
That was a good movie. I like that one.
the first one.
I love the premise of the Grudge. That's the Grudge. What's the one where they have like the
Ring?
the one day where you can do anything? The Purge.
Oh, The Purge.
Purge.
That's
like-
a great
I thought
fucking
it was
premise.
okay. Yeah, it was.
I
It
don't
was
think
all
I've
right.
ever seen any of them.
I saw the first one. I've not seen any of the other ones. What was the name of Fred Astaire's last film? God, I hate the fact that these don't turn over, and you don't. The answers are basically there. I have to turn it side by side to see the answers.
Ooh, bad design.
Oh, this is yeah. This is gettable, maybe. Fred Astaire's last film.
Fred Astaire.
I
Trying
think
to
we've
think
talked,
based
we've
on the
talked about this
category.
movie. We've talked about this movie. 1981.
81?
Empire Strikes Back.
Ghost Story.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh.
Remember that?
I do.
What band played Bela Lugosi's Dead in The Hunger, 1983? Kabuki Kid got it. But Ghost Story.
No idea.
That would be Bauhaus.
Oh. Well, I mean,
In Ghostbusters 1986, whose character became possessed by the demonic Zool?
Which one?
Sigourney Weaver.
Which character became, yes, Sigourney Weaver? Dana Barrett.
There is no Dana. There's
Mm.
only Zoom.
Electric Girl who sleeps above the covers.
Who
3
did
feet
who
above
did
the
reprise
covers.
their role from 1997's I Know What You Did Last Summer in the sequel I Still Know What You Did Last Summer in 1998?
Jennifer
Michelle
Love Hewitt.
Gellar.
And or Freddie Prinze Jr.
Mm.
Didn't know he was in that.
I forgot he was in it.
What is the name of the comic book Demon's Ghost Rider's alter ego, who Nicolas Cage played in two
Johnny
films?
Blade.
Oh, yeah. I was
Johnny
gonna,
Blade.
yeah, I thought maybe they were asking for the actual name of the
Oh, this is an interesting one. Which American inventor produced the first Frankenstein film, which ran only 14 minutes?
Tesla.
No?
Edison.
Edison. Yes.
Tesla did it, but Edison stole it.
Yeah, that's probably.
yeah.
No,
I didn't know
somebody
that.
did it.
That's
Edison
interesting.
stole it. It
I
wasn't.
kind of want to watch it now.
I doubt it was Tesla though.
How many animated TV series did Ghostbusters 1986 film spawn?
2.
Or
2
Two.
Ghostbusters,
Real Ghostbusters and
the real
Real
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters.
Though the best animated Ghostbusters is just called Ghostbusters, which
Probably.
is not based on the film.
Rosemary's Babies author Ira Levin also wrote which 1972 novel, which was made into a 1975 film of the same name, about housewives being killed by their husbands and replaced
Stepford
with robots.
Wives.
Stepford Wives.
I
Being
saw the remake
replaced.
and it's terrible. Is the
Oh
original?
yeah,
any-
it's fucking horrible.
yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, it was garbage. It was like they were trying to make a comedy.
you know what else he wrote?
What?
Boys from Brazil.
Oh yeah.
What 1971 made-for-TV film did a young Steven Spielberg direct about a dangerous truck driver?
Oh,
The Duel.
Maximum Overdrive.
yeah.
What?
Duel.
The Duel. And it was a
I think
made
it's
Shown on
TV
ABC,
movie.
then later released theatrically.
He also
So
directed
here-
the first episode of Columbo.
So here's a interesting factoid about the Duel. So the whole if you haven't seen it, it was a made for TV movie that basically a guy cuts off this big old truck on this old deserted road, and this guy terrorizes this guy as he's driving the entire time, and they just as they tear around on these highways. So at the end, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the Duel, when the truck goes over the cliff, it makes a noise. Spielberg reused that noise for when the shark's body in Jaws descends into the ocean. If you listen in the background, you can hear the truck going as it went over. He reused the same thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Cruella DeVille's here.
Before moving on to filming Gremlins, who directed the werewolf thriller The Howling?
Before what?
John Landis, right?
Before moving on to filming Gremlins, who directed the werewolf thriller The Howling in 1981? I don't think.
No, it's not John
It's-
Landis.
it's
John
not that.
Landis did probably the best werewolf movie of all time, American Werewolf in London.
Oh yes.
Joe
Great
Dante.
movie.
Joe Dante, yeah.
Spooky Kid got it.
I remember my dad
What-
took me to see American Werewolf in London, and that movie,
It's a scary fucking movie,
that
It's
movie
terrifying.
freaked
especially
me
for
out.
young kids. Oh my god.
Oh my
I saw it
god!
as
Well,
a
my
kid
dad
tonight.
took me to all kinds of horror movies when I was a kid. Alien, American Werewolf in London. I mean that
What-
scene where like he's trying to call home and he's just having the bad dream,
Yes.
and the guys just burst in
Terrible.
the door and like the
Yeah, the
like,
pig cops and all that
the
stuff.
pig cops
soldiers.
just start slaughtering his family
Awful.
and like slitting the throats of his brother and sister and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, it's just a dream.
Yeah. Oh, yes, for sure. What 1978 film based on the book by Robin Cook followed the story of a surgery resident who discovers her hospital is trafficking black market organs? 1978 film.
Super.
Adapted and directed by sci-fi author Michael Crichton. That helps.
It does not.
Oma?
Come on.
Is it?
I never saw that. Or no, you know what I did? Because I remember the bodies were on like these ropes that they tilted the body
Yeah.
so it didn't so the circulation would go and stuff. What heavy metal singer wrote and acted in the film Strangeland, 1998?
1998.
D.
Yeah.
Snyder.
Rob Zombie.
D. Snyder.
Is it?
Wait, you knew that?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You said it so nonchalantly, like Snyder.
Oh, I love me some Twisted Sister.
Yeah, you got it right.
The Hungry
Come
Man.
on, feel the noise.
What's that
Girls,
from?
Bang.
rock your
That's
boat.
Slade.
Which Back to the Future actor starred as the title character in the remake of the rat-based film Willard?
Oh, the fuck's his name?
Crispin Glover.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yep, Crispin Glover.
what are you thanking him for? He
letting Matt
stole
try
it.
to work it out, but
No, wasn't coming.
Who played the
Yeah.
horse-frightening Frau Blucher in Young Frankenstein,
Rob Brooker.
1974?
Great movie.
Cloris Leachman.
Yep. Where's that?
Yes.
I would have never known his name.
What is the name of Corky's dummy in the 1978 film Magic? I remember that movie. But I don't know.
Eddie.
That was
Fats.
the year I was born.
Christian Slater played which psychic detective in the film adaptation of the video game Alone in the Dark?
Oh.
We're never gonna get that. Come on,
What was his name?
no
Whatever.
one's gonna get that. Edward Cornby.
Oh, Edward Cornby.
What Egyptian goddess did Fode Ramses? Fuad Ram? This is not right.
ISIS.
Ishtar.
Oh, Ishtar.
I can't.
That's a
pronounce
great fucking
the
movie.
name. It's not a great movie.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Wait, so it's not a good movie?
What
Ishtar?
musical number
No.
did Frederick Frankenstein and his monster perform in Young Frankenstein? Frankenstein. You know that song they sang together?
What was it?
Putting on the Ritz.
Putting on the Ritz.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Putting on the Ritz.
These are hard questions, man. I'm just looking for answers that we might know the name. Okay, here we go. What phobia does Scotty Ferguson suffer from in Vertigo?
Vertigo.
Fear of heights.
Yeah, do you know what it's called?
Acrophobia.
Yeah, it's acrophobia. Oscar winner Gina Davis starred in which horror comedy as a sex-crazed vampire?
Oh. Once Bitten.
Once.
No,
That's not it.
no, that's what I thought.
Twice Shy.
My
Bright
mind.
Great
Night.
White, Transylvania 65000.
Oh,
Oh yes,
forgot about
Transylvania
that.
65000.
I remember that movie.
Okay.
Transylvania 65000.
That's 650. Oh.
Which famed surrealist artist designed the dream sequence in Hitchcock's Spellbound, 1945?
Salvador Dali.
That's right.
How the fuck do you know that, Nate?
I was about to say it, but
Where
Damn
is-
it, Jim. Star Trek's DeForest Kelley starred in which film about giant killer rabbits?
Oh.
You never gonna get Night of the Lepus.
Yeah, I seen a thing on him. That's the only reason I knew that.
Okay.
But I couldn't
These
think of the
card-
name.
I feel like the first like 3 cards were like doable, and now it's like impossible. What is the name of the Pumpkin King of Halloween in Tim
Skellington.
Burton's
Jack
1993? What was that?
Jack
Jack
Skellington.
Skellington.
Jack Skellington. Yes.
Yes.
Pop artist Andy Warhol did not release a movie version of which monster? Frankenstein, Dracula, or the Mummy?
The Mummy.
Correct. Wesley Snipes plays a half human, half vampire
Blade.
hunter. It's like they're crazy easy or like impossible.
Yeah.
What picture was on the wall in the sea? What?
In the Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993, which of Oogie Boogie's 3 henchmen is female? Lock, Stock, or Barrel?
Oh,
I believe it's stock.
yeah.
Shock. Lock, shock, or barrel.
Shock.
Shock. Yeah. Shock was played by Catherine O'Hara.
Yes, she was.
And barrel is Paul Rubens, right? Or is he lock?
I think he's locked.
Danny
That-
Elfman is the other one, I think.
I can't remember now. Yeah.
Hollywood's Steve McQueen starred in which horror film about an alien amoeba
Blob!
creature?
Yeah, the ball.
What real life magician played a magician in the Jamie Lee Curtis film Terror Train?
David
remember that movie.
Copperfield.
David Copperfield.
I thought it was Doug Henning. It's an illusion. Thank you.
Or Ricky Jay.
Ricky Jay, man, that guy was amazing.
He was.
The
He's a
Who's
big
lead singer Roger Daltrey appears in which
Cat's
1978
eyes.
about a woman inheriting demonic powers? Not that. Something else.
Would have never seen.
I'd never heard of it. The Legacy.
I heard of it.
In Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, what type of factory did Leatherface's mother work at when she gave birth to him?
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse. Yeah, slaughterhouse. Gross.
I don't know. I never seen it.
Batman creator Bob Kane said the visual look of the Joker was influenced by a lead character in what silent film?
The vampire one.
Yeah.
Nostradamus?
No.
Nostradamus.
Not too
no.
soft. Not that.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
No, but The Man Who Laughs and Conrad Veidt's portrayal of the disfigured Gwynplaine? I never heard of that.
Nosferatu.
That's just crazy. I should have not asked that question. Come on. Give me something I can use here.
How about we do some initials soon?
Yeah. We can. Oh, here's one. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson starred in 2009 sequel to what 1972 film about telekinetic kids?
Turn to which mountain?
Race to Witch Mountain.
I
The
forgot that
second
movie existed.
theatrical sequel to Escape to Witch Mountain. All right, one
Oh
more question.
man, that brings back memories.
Totally does, right?
Disney Sunday night, man.
I love that. I love those Witch Mountain kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that one kid was in that Amazing Adventures, or he was in a lot of those movies.
Well, the
after
girl
that.
was on the Real Housewives.
Oh, was she?
Yes, she was also Prudence in Nanny and the Professor.
Oh.
And she was on the failed McLean Stevenson show.
All right, let me find a banger
Find a banger.
for the last question. Okay, none of these.
I'm waiting on the banger.
I'm trying to find
Find a
one.
banger. Come on,
I got a
Doc.
banger of a game. Can I
Make
give
it
a
a good
quick
one.
game recommendation?
Can we just finish
Oh,
this
wait,
up?
let me
Since
finish
I
this
got
up.
one question left, and then
I
you
got
can-
one question to find it.
Okay.
Final question.
What classical musician is Alex's favorite in A Clockwork Orange?
And what was his name?
Alex.
No, the late
Classical musician is Alex's
Bach.
favorite in A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, Clockwork
no,
Orange.
it was Beethoven.
Ludwig van
Bach.
Beethoven.
Found Bach.
Beethoven.
Well, we did that many questions.
All right. While Forrest tells you about the game, I'm going to walk away for a minute. I'll be right back.
Strike.
Uh,
Strike from Ravensburger. If you haven't played it, it's fantastic. It is-
Strike.
That's an amazing game.
Yes.
I've no
I
idea.
just-
We've been playing
The
that. For,
railroad one.
Yeah.
Well,
plus
I just
years.
want to make sure that everybody heard if they hadn't, because it is.
did you play a themed one or did you play the basic?
I didn't know there was theme ones. Not
Are you
Yeah, there's
trying
the
to-
Harry Potter one,
Strike
and
the
then-
game with the dice.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to like 7 years ago.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Strike is great. There's a Harry Potter one and a,
There's a Strike Risk
Something
now
else.
that is actually really good.
but I don't
What?
think it's based on the same game.
What?
I don't think it's based on the dice.
It uses the strike mechanisms, but it
Does-
adds in the risk cards and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
I saw that at Walmart or at Target. Oh, that looks. Oh man,
Is it really?
Yeah.
that sounds awesome. I was saying to myself, I wish this had Man, and there's no how to play video. I should get
Impact
on
Battle
that.
of Elements. Well, I mean, I think we played it on BGG.
Yeah, but that's super long form, man. No, I'm talking about the wrist
Sure.
strike, not the strike. There's a Rodney video. I mean, come on.
Impact Battle of Elements. That's the one. That's the other version of Strike I was trying to think of.
Impact Battle of Elements.
I mean, it's
See,
just
there's-
it adds
there's
some
a-
more rules to the game.
Ooh, that was fun.
Where's your how to play Risk?
I don't think Risk
Video.
Strike is the same thing, is it? Do you know this? Lance?
I played it.
Oh, okay,
good.
cool. Risk is a card and dice game. All right. That's cool. So you basically throw your dice in the thing to knock people out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this like a classic game or something? Is it just open source or what's the dealio?
No, it's a real thing.
No, I mean the core system.
No, it's an original.
Oh, cool. I know it was because if you told me this was like a 400-year-old game, I wouldn't be surprised at all. You know.
It is a
They're 400 years old. No.
10-year-old game, 2012.
Good for him. Crushed it. Robbed the Spiel. Bullshit.
Dieter Nussel.
What won the Spiel? How did he get nominated for the Spiel 2002? Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Kinder
'Cause there's
Spiel.
only 10 games.
No. I thought I got nominated 2 years in a row.
And what it was also nominated as Door.
Dirty Pig? Come on, really?
It's a good game.
It is, but it's not a Spiel des Jahres. Come on, Kinderspiel? Like you tell
No,
me there's
it-
not
it-
nine.
it's not- it did not win a Kinder Spiel.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been not Dirty Pig. I mean, I still own it. I actually put it away earlier today, but
Which one?
Dirty Pig. It's
I
this
don't know.
really simple game.
All right, Kabuki, we'll bring it back at some point. We'll keep going. We're waiting on.
Oh, Chewy.
What is the only type of wood that can kill an original vampire in the originals?
Ash.
Wood from Dracula's coffin.
White oak.
White oak. Really?
Also,
Who plays
white
the
oak.
masochistic dental patient in the original film version? of
Jack
Wolf?
Nicholson.
Oh yeah, Jack Nicholson.
I
The
feel like you
original.
said that before.
I
the
thought
answer
it. Yeah,
came
it was
out.
Bill Murray. I thought it was Bill Murray. Whose corpse avenged her own death when it drowns Norman in What Lies Beneath? We don't know that person's name. Come on.
That was the Harrison Ford movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was the bad guy.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Harris Ford was the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't remember his name. Henry?
Some of these questions are very good.
There's Anthony.
I'm back.
Anthony.
So I heard
Actually, can I
strike,
take a? I'll be right back too.
and I was like, "What the hell year is it?"
7 years ago. Welcome.
Dice in a bowl.
Oh shit, the dry washer.
The washer. Oh my. Forgot about the washer.
Hey, Lance.
Was
you know that Burt Young passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. That sucks.
So does Suzanne Summers.
Good guy.
Who?
Suzanne
Young.
Summers.
Burt Young.
Who's that?
Paulie from
Rocky.
Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of old movies, just reminding myself of old movies I watched. So I brought up Chinatown and just actually no, I started watching Chinatown and then I was like, hey, holy crap, that's Burt Young is the guy whose wife is cheating on him. At the very beginning opening scene.
So Burt Young owned a restaurant in the Bronx, not far from where I grew up.
Okay.
So you could go in there; he'd be there almost every single night. He was like the coolest guy.
What was the last thing he was in? Do you know? I remember The Sopranos. He was in that for a bit, but I'm sure he was in something else since then.
You want the bird? Go eat it out in the alley.
That had one of my favorite lines. He didn't even say it when because they were like, he plays what's his face is he plays Bobby Bacala's dad and his godson like this godson of his like murdered somebody or beat somebody up. I forget what it was in Sopranos, but
Yeah.
basically they call it a hit on him, but he's hiding, and they were like, and so they Bobby Bucklow's dad, he's like got cancer. He's like he's dying. He's like hacking up, and then they're just like, well, he says, Bobby Senior says he can take care of it because he's his godfather. He can get in to see him, and it's just like, and his son just says he's retired, and he's like, what is this? We're in the Navy now. It's just like it's almost like, good stuff. And he goes there and he pulls off the hit. He's like some 80-year-old man, goes to the guy's house and pulls off the hit. What is this? We're in the Navy now?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna watch that this year. That's me and my uncle's yearly thing up when we go hunting at the cabins. We'll watch the Sopranos. Well, as much as we can. Yeah. But I don't think we're going up this year.
But, you can watch the Sopranos anyway. You don't have to wait.
Nah, it's me and my uncle. We go hunting just to hang out with each other. Like my brother goes out hunting, but me and my uncle just go up to hang, and that's our thing. We'll watch that, and sometimes the Deer Hunter or some other movies. Yeah, westerns. He's in the westerns and war movies. But I don't know if I'm going up this year. We're not sure yet. My brother got laid off, so it's if he gets a job in between, we're not going.
What are the initials?
Well, I'm waiting for Forrest to come
I guess
back.
you can wait. Just wait.
Oh, I'm right here.
Wait.
Oh,
You're not on
Oh,
screen.
Yeah,
my bad. How did I click? I might have clicked the wrong thing.
You
Sorry.
look better the other way, though. I must have.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
You fixed that? You fixed that toilet yet?
Fix the sink.
Sink.
I fixed the sink in my basement, which really sucks because now I can't do any more videos on the one in my basement.
What was wrong with what did you use?
Called the Golden Goose.
Liquid fire was really the thing that did most of the work, and then I used like 2 or 3 other things to kind of push it through, like doctor a little bit, like, oh, it's so crappy when it was just kind of crappy. But liquid fire is the winner. And then
Liquid Fire.
liquid fire.
Never heard of it.
It comes in a plastic bag. It looks dangerous as fuck. It's bright red. It
They're
works
usually
though.
the best shit. When it's illegal, it's usually the good stuff.
It was the one that was most suggested in the comments. LR.
LR.
Oh, and it comes with a snake too.
We'll see you pouring gasoline down the drain next and lighting a match or something.
Here we go. LR.
Don't tempt me.
LR.
L as in laser. R as in rocket. All right. Appeared in 1993's Last Action Hero. Appeared in 1999's Mystery Alaska. Received a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1990. I found out that's just a giant scam.
Yeah,
Basically,
buy it yourself.
you got to pay for it.
Yeah, you buy it yourself.
How much is it?
Just like the rock
Well,
and roll.
they
Hall
have
of
to offer it to you, and then you got to pony up the dough to get it done.
Fame. Yeah.
What do you think, like $15?
No, it's more than that.
His last name is Penniman. Rolling Stone listed 3 of his songs on the 500. Go ahead.
Lou Rawls.
Anthony.
Aldi.
Lou Reed.
And you still want to guess, Anthony?
No.
All right, I'll repeat.
Barry.
Number 5, Barry.
Little Richard.
Correct.
Ah,
Little Richard.
Took me a
is
while. I had to
correct.
think. I didn't remember the song in the movie.
All right, here we go. Involves observation. Often used in forensics. Sometimes used by spies on TV and in film. Can include sound, but it often does not. Is often used by the deaf community.
Matt,
Matt,
lip reading.
lip
Uh,
reading is correct.
I was thinking of laser
Anthony.
something.
I was
I'm
thinking
here.
of something technical.
Okay, I just
too,
want to make sure your
Scott.
microphone's working here.
He's getting warmed up.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time here. Sorry. Asking a question, I'm responding to it. All right, here we go. Connected to Reba McEntire in 1986. Has connections to Sam Walton, Brooks Robinson, General Douglas MacArthur, and Bill Hicks. Dates back to 1831. The name came from a small
Anthony.
formation- Go ahead.
Lone Ranger.
Somebody else? Billy ring in? Okay, sorry. The name came from a small formation on the south bank of a U.S. river.
Oh,
Of course,
Go ahead.
Little Rock.
Correct.
Ugh.
Has a notable connection to Bill and Hillary Clinton.
My buddy's from there.
Good for your buddy.
all right, Barry, you get the next one.
It is
And
good for
Goldie
him. He's
gets
got a
one,
good
and
job.
then I'll start coming
You'll
back.
start up. You'll start up.
Okay.
I helped Anthony though. I'm spreading it thin, spreading the points.
Appeared in Logan Lucky, Anger Management, and Coyote Ugly. Rose to stardom at age 13.
Matt,
Aldi.
Go ahead.
Leanne Rhymes.
Is correct. Well done.
Oh,
That's not what I was
Leanne
gonna
Rimes. Remember when she dropped?
What was that, Scott?
That's not what I was gonna guess.
Oh,
How do
I
I
would've never
live
guessed that.
without you? That's her, right?
So quick little
Yeah.
anecdote. My son has a birthday party on Saturday that was gonna be like at one of those like fun driving ranges that has the big tiers, and you go there and like you just hit balls off of like the thing, and like there's games you can play and stuff like that. Anyway, so a buddy of his is like I'm a sports kid, and so he's having him and a bunch of other kids go there, and and he had never done it before. So I was like, well, you know, I'm not a great golfer, but I've definitely golfed before, and I was just like, so my wife and I and him, we went there today, and which was fine. It was kind of fun, and I taught him just the basics of swinging a golf club, and just so you know, he'd have like some experience before he does it on Saturday. Anyway, the whole point of that story is like about 10 minutes into it, like, and there wasn't a ton of people there, but there was enough people there, and it was kind of cool, and it's like they have heaters, so it was still like, even though it was like 50 degrees out, it was like, you know, pretty nice. It was still comfortable. I was there in shorts and a t-shirt, and that was fine. But what is it about the area of the world, and I don't know if it's the same with you guys, that like, oh, we're in an open area that's kind of like a bar kind of social thing. We'll have music on in the background. Well, it's just got to be country western music every single time, every single just milk toast country western music that I just can't stand. It just penetrates my ear. That's all I can hear. And I realize there's a lot of people that like it, obviously, or else they wouldn't. But I mean, why is that just the go-to for everything? It's just
that's
like,
what they like.
I just,
My wife listens to jazz all day because that's what the manager likes.
it's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, can't it just be like some classic rock or something? I mean, isn't that? But maybe that's just, you know, people don't like Kansas or something. Anyway. Stupid complaint to the boss.
Metallica's classic rock now, Lance.
I know, isn't that crazy? I have a
So is
I'll
Guns
like,
N' Roses and
I'll
all
like
that.
tune into classic rock, and all of a sudden, Master of Puppets is playing. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm not complaining, but whatever. Master of Puppets. All right, here we go. In the 1990s, was connected to Donald Trump, Whoopi Goldberg, and Mel Brooks. Was animated from 1982 through 1984. Debuted.
Force.
Go ahead.
Lone Ranger.
And
Damn. Said it so
I'll
confidently.
repeat clue number 3. Debuted in a sense in 1922. Originally went by Our Gang.
Matt,
Anthony.
Matt was first.
Little Rascals.
Little Rascals. When I saw that clue, I was like, Anthony's gonna get it with this one. There's no way Anthony isn't gonna get this. And the attack that Matt got in before you. That was crazy.
We didn't even go to the arbitrator for that.
I feel
No,
like
I
it
heard
was-
Matt
it was-
before
It
you.
was a good half second before you.
His name is his one syllable. Mine is 3.
Well,
Tough luck, Buttercup.
It's Tony.
Turd.
Turd Ferguson.
Ferguson. There you go.
Here we go. I'll accept Anthony or Turd.
Okay.
Clue number 1. Often seen near guns.
Horse.
Go ahead.
Lone Ranger.
Damn. I need a drink. Has seen extreme popularity in the US, Canada, and the UK. This is commonly shortened to a 3-letter nickname. Originated on the island of Newfoundland. Yellow, black, or chocolate?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Labrador Retriever.
Labrador Retriever is correct. He's on the board, ladies and
He's on the
gentlemen. He's
board.
on the board.
Just to let you know, Lance, Newfoundland is pronounced like telegram.
I'll just call it Telegram from now on then.
Newfoundland, not Newfoundland.
Well, so wait a minute. So Telegram and Newfoundland.
No. Newfoundland.
Telegram,
Newfoundland.
tell and new. So I should I don't understand. You could just say the land sounds like land.
Hold on, my Nuliphone is rating.
Yeah.
Hello.
What are you trying to say? It's foul. It sounds like Finn.
Newfoundland.
New. Sure.
Moving on.
I apologize for. I'd like to apologize to all Canadians that happen to be watching this at the present time, and all Canadians that will watch later. And I appreciate the pedantic Matthew for
Send Lance your hate mail. What's your email address, Lance?
fuckyou.com. So here we go. Clue number 1, related to war. Found in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Rock Band 3, and MLB 08, the show.
What?
Was in Dazed and Confused, Gone in 60 Seconds, and Friday.
Barry.
Go ahead.
Lowrider.
Lowrider is correct.
Nice.
Yeah. Low.
Friday's the one that finally connected it. That war thing threw me off.
Here we go. The term was devised in the 1970s. have been utilized all over the world. Often seen on streets. Responsible for multiple fatalities every year. Often go 20 to 30 miles per hour. Final clue is a form of urban transportation similar to a tram. 5.
Of course.
Go. 5.
What are they
Four.
called?
Line
3.
rail?
What'd you say?
Line rail?
Matt,
Barry.
Matt,
light rail.
light
Ah,
rail.
that's it. They got a
Is
great one
correct.
in Denver.
Yeah.
We have one here.
Yeah.
I
love
like
it.
this game better when we made the clues.
They actually called light rail.
Light rail, yeah. If I'm sure it's everywhere, but like, if you like go to like a Twins game or a Vikings game in Minneapolis, like you go to the Mall of America and you park for free and you get on a light rail and it's like a 6-minute. You pay $7 for a ticket and then it's good all day long and you can take it to the stadium and take it back.
Never heard of it.
I would have never
Really?
guessed it.
Yeah.
Light rail to me is a gauge of the rail. I mean, I
When-
worked
when-
on light rail trains.
When Jesse Ventura was
Exactly
our
what it
governor,
is. Barry.
Is this a game just based in Minnesota?
No, it
No.
wasn't the train was light rail. It's the gauge that they rode on is light rail.
Yeah.
But when Jesse Ventura, like his goal was to have light rail tracks that like basically were within like 60 to 70 mile radius around the Twin Cities. So like you could be in, and you don't know what this is, but there's a town called St. Cloud, and then his goal was that like you could like take a light rail to work in the morning, and then you wouldn't have to pollute the city or whatever with your stuff. Anyway, just moving
Maybe
on.
that's called passenger trains. I never heard it called light rail. That's weird.
Yeah. All right. Next clue. Won an Academy Award in 1986. Born in Alabama. Was once on a plane with Homer Simpson.
Anthony.
Go ahead.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie is correct. Dancing on the ceiling.
He won for the White Knights movie.
Commodores, baby. Love me some
Say You,
Commodores.
Say Me song.
Say you, say me. Man, I've listened to thousands of hours of him.
Do you have his Tuskegee album? It's awesome.
So talented.
I actually just seen a commercial for Cole and the gang is on tour without him. Yeah.
That's the Commodores he was in.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's
Oh,
not
I
cool
got
in
him
the
mixed
gang.
up. It was cool the guy.
I was
All
gonna say
right,
if he
let's
was
see
with
here.
Cool in the Gang, that'd be hot.
We got 5 left, and it's anybody's game right now. So anybody's game. Aldi, does your microphone work?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
just making sure. So Matt is in the lead with 4, Barry, Anthony with 2, Forrest with 1, I believe.
You feel like that joke would get old eventually. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
Never gets old.
Never.
Never gets old.
Just like never saying the initials doesn't.
There are likely hundreds of these in the United States. Sometimes found in hotels or resorts. There are sometimes scenic elements added. Involves a current.
Aldi.
Go ahead.
Lazy River.
Lazy River is correct. Well done,
Nice.
sir. You're on the board.
I'm on the board.
He's on the board.
What is the high score? It is so in?
I think Anthony scored like a 9 once.
No, I mean like who's in the lead right now?
Oh, Matt is
Matt.
with 4.
That by
Oh,
two.
never mind. He's still kicking ass. Never mind.
A $22 million. Let's start off. Clue number 1. A $22 million ride at Dollywood in Tennessee.
Force,
Go ahead.
low ranger.
And
Stupid cards.
Stupid
Okay.
card.
clue number 2. Often found at extreme heights.
Anthony,
Go ahead.
lightning rod.
Is correct. Well done, sir. Well done.
Wow.
Where did Forrest go?
He's going.
3 left in LR.
He left.
Forrest.
Forrest. What gave you lightning rod there, Anthony?
The heights thing.
The height?
That was a lightning something. If it's a roller coaster, it's lightning something.
Was Ben
All right.
Franklin on one of them?
All right, here we go. Clue number 1. Features nudity. Features storage. Commonly found in schools. Often includes benches.
Anthony,
Go ahead.
lunchroom.
And nudity in a lunchroom?
You
Nudity?
never know.
What lunchroom will you be in there?
Clue number
All right,
5.
I got it now. Jesus Christ.
Often includes toilets and sinks.
Aldi.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
Locker room.
Locker room is correct. Here we go. Clue number 1. Had a famous friend.
Had a what?
Had a famous friend.
Aldi.
Go ahead.
The Lone Ranger.
Is correct.
It'll walk away, Scott.
Love it.
we should pause the game right here and then let's come back and answer Lone Ranger for the next one.
Nicely played.
All right, here we go. Final clue. Final one. If Anthony answers it, he ties for the win. Here we go. Or actually, Aldi,
Aldi.
Aldi or Anthony, they tie. Anybody else gets
Right,
it,
Matt,
Matt
win it.
wins.
Take it away from us.
Clue number 1. Sometimes connected to graduate students. Clue number 2. Are commonly not aware of the situation. Clue number 3. Connected to tests. Clue number 4. Connected to scientists.
I know this.
Clue number 5. Famously albino.
Matt,
Matt, go.
lab rats.
Lab rats for the win. He
Yeah.
didn't have somebody else win it for him. He took it himself. He took it
Good
home.
game.
I almost gave it to you, Matt.
He claimed it for his own. He didn't let anybody else do it for him. Well done.
I was seeing if Anthony or Aldi was going to tie it.
I was just about to bring in and Matt, I heard something. That's what damn it.
Thanks,
So-
Anthony.
There are 24 of these left. So
24.
All right.
Once
Half
I'm
a
happy,
year.
so fun.
I'm heading
know.
to bed.
Yeah.
Good night.
Hey, Matt.
see you, buddy.
Matt.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for
for
hanging
having
Good
out.
seeing you.
me. Likewise.
Oh, I got something cool to show. I got something to
Jay?
mail today.
Ooh.
Was it a 3D camera?
3D camera, that works. I actually, speaking of trains, I was cleaning up in the room today. I used to have this hanging. Can you see it?
Is it?
I used to have this hanging. It's Babe and Wild Bill.
No,
I used
very
to have
cool.
this
Cool.
hanging above my
autographed?
Greenway. Was that?
That autographed?
Yeah, they signed it right after
Cool.
which book
What
was
was it? I didn't see it.
Babe, it's a picture of Babe and Wild Bill from Band of Brothers. What the Band of Brothers is based on, their unit. That's Babe's here on.
Okay.
This is Babe, and then this is Wild Bill.
Okay.
Wild Bill lost his leg. Babe was the recruit. Wild Bill actually jumped on D-Day. That's the one. His brother, he found out they were supposed to go out the day before they actually dropped. And the night before, as they were getting on the plane to drop for that, they called it off. But right as they did it, they told Bill his brother was killed by Nazis in another operation. So he was saying one of his famous stories is when he got off the plane, when he finally jumped, he shot anything that moved that was speaking German. Yeah, he was pretty angry. But like I was saying, I had that hanged up above my Greenleaf, and I thought, even my worst day, that worst derailment I ever had, that really fucks with me to this day. Sometimes I was like, my days are never as bad as that were. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool that I found that. Like I said, I was cleaning up. I also found a couple keys to the trains and all that. But
Well, that sounds cool.
yeah.
Oh, so I got this box. I'm gonna give it a shout out because whatever. High Society. I did a Kickstarter video for them. So they sent me, like the deluxeified version, which it's nothing special. That's it's a lot of times, I think Lance will attest to this. A lot of people forget to do it, which most of the time I don't even care to reach out to them. They sent me like a special letter saying thank you and Kickstarter critique stuff and whatnot. And they sent me this. It's a giant diamond, like
Yeah,
a
I've
fake.
seen this
Obviously, it's
before.
a fake one,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
heavy.
it's a paperweight.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 pounds. This thing,
Yeah, I've seen this before.
yeah, I'm gonna keep it near my desk. If there's ever a home invader,
Smack 'em.
Yeah, I'm not smacking. Let's see. I don't want to incriminate this thing, but there's one other thing that I want to say in here. It's pretty cool. They got this neat idea. I don't know if this is common because I don't back many Kickstarters, but essentially
any?
I don't. I
Yeah, why bother?
I have so many games to play as
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
But it's a QR code, and it's it sends you to Board Game Geek for the people who back the game. They click that they're fan, and perhaps if they're willing to give it a review or whatnot, and they get 50 fans and 10 plus reviews, which so they can get rated on Board Game Geek, they're going to send out a promo card, greasing the wheel. I was like, that's a great idea. Steal that,
I don't
Lance.
love incentivized ratings, but I guess it's some way to.
Tell me that's not great, Lance. Because how much? Just one card just sipping out after
We
the
normally
fact?
shut that down, by the way, if we find out about it. Incentivized ratings is not great, but a promo card is nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do it. Well, whatever. I mean,
So what did they say? If
or
enough
easily
people
bought.
do it, they'll send out a promo card to all the backers or something.
Greasing
What if
the
people
wheel.
go there and rate it a 1 though?
Well, that's a risk they're willing to take on their game. I respect it. I respect the hell out of it. Plus, it's a solid game. It's good. It's no strike.
I'm fine with sending people to BGG to rate it, but the incentivization is just a little odd.
I think it's a great idea.
I know you do.
Well, I mean, coming from a perspective of a company,
Believe me, we shut anytime we see a Kickstarter sending people to rate a game for a stretch goal or a promo or anything, we shut it off.
but is that pre-launch or is that post-launch?
Pre-launch.
Yeah, because I
During
feel like post-launch
during the campaign. Yeah, during the campaign.
because it's shipping with the game.
Yeah.
But it's not illegal. It's not against the rules because I'm thinking about making a YouTube short talking about how
It
I
is
think
against the rules.
Oh, it is.
We don't allow incentivization for rating.
Post-launch even.
Whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's harmless.
So I won't make a YouTube short.
Don't make a YouTube video on it.
Got it.
Don't suggest people do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Lance, I'd
because
like you to strike
basically,
that
if we
from the
find it
record.
on, what'd you say?
Ask Lance to strike that from the record.
Yeah, strike that from the record.
I'll go back.
I mean, there's
in and
enough
edit it out.
bullshit stuff going on with the ratings anyway. We don't need like incentivized ratings.
That's fair. It's fair. But the heart, you're okay with the heart.
Sure. No
What
problem.
about heart comment? Heart comment.
Sure.
Give us a heart.
Done. Do
Bam.
it.
Love it. All right.
Yeah.
That I'm making a YouTube video
Yeah.
on.
Sure.
Cool.
Giving it a 10 rating, not cool.
Well, yeah, that's like clearly.
It's like paying for the click.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I get it.
It's hard enough to police that stuff as it is. Not that we really do. I mean,
I got
trying
a
to
question.
figure out some stuff why people click stuff when they're told to do it. I just don't get it. But I don't understand humans sometimes.
Does anyone have any opinion on Jalop? JELLOP.
What that is?
Just out of curiosity.
The publisher?
JELLO.
Most
Yeah.
likely it'd be Lance. They're a Kickstarter like marketing firm
Oh,
or
it's
something.
Kickstarter marketing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fantastic.
So
How do
those-
they get things to be promoted and through that? What do they do? Do they
No,
have
no,
a-
I'm just asking if anybody has an opinion on it.
do they have a
Just
mailing
curious.
list of people that they say go back this game?
I'm pretty sure they use mostly
Add your
Facebook
money in
ads.
and then pull it away because that'll, like, I mean, it's so shady. Like boost the money to, and then catches people's eyes, gets you on the lists, and then you can pull your money away. Is that what they do?
I don't know. I was just
I'm
asking.
just
if
wondering, what do
anybody
they
had opinions on
offer?
them.
Yeah, what do they offer?
I think it's mostly Facebook ads. I think they try to
Well,
do
but
targeted
you can
Facebook.
run your own Facebook ads.
I mean,
That's the,
yeah, what's the point? Why
Well,
are
they
you
do
running
other
around?
stuff. I'm sure they have clients. I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate them. I just hate their Kickstarter
What does
pages.
it do? Yeah, what's an example?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. I've covered like 30 to 40 of them, but honestly, after I get off the Kickstarter page, I forget everything about it for the most part. They're
I saw your video how to do a good Kickstarter page.
yeah, that
So
was
did
actually
table
that was
do
actually for
anything?
my boss. My boss was like, make this video, and I was just like, I'm just gonna put it on my channel. And he's like, all right. Hopefully get some leads off it eventually. Like that'll be cool. Like when someone's like, yeah, I came here from that video. Like that'll be I think that's gonna be a cool feeling. Because it's like if they make a game, I get paid.
How go your leads on that stuff?
Yeah, it is a slow process. And I feel like there's some good ones. Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 good ones. Honestly, though, a couple of them, I'm like, you're gonna have a hard time getting back, like funded. But then the other thing is, I think it's gonna be really interesting because it's gonna tell me like exactly how many of these people like just self-fund pretty much. Like some of them are like doctors, and I'm like, you're just gonna pay for this even if this doesn't. And it's like you get that impression. It's just a whole interesting side of the hobby that never saw.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of people that like, they played that one game that they made, and they're just like, yeah, this game's great.
And and they teach it to all their friends, and so they don't even have the rule booklet. Nobody looks at the rule booklet, and nobody makes, they ask the questions, but the questions don't get put into the yeah. Oh man, so many games like that. I played one tonight where it's just like it's part of the Game Crafter Spotlight series where I look at a Game Crafter game every month, and I played it and I was like, this has potential. But there's just like a couple things where it's like, this clearly, like this wasn't play tested enough. Like this is such an obvious question that's not in your rule booklet. Like one where someone asked it immediately before we started the game, can I do this? And I was like, that should really be in this rule booklet. And it had a big fundamental difference in the end game. And it's like, how does that slip through the cracks? How do you as a game designer let that slip through the cracks? Like that's just because that kills the game. That kills the game for so many people. And like I played another one. I played the it's this game from the guy who did Tragedy Looper. Baka Fire, I think it is, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that game has so much potential, but it's not like there's so many questions that could have just been answered with a player reference card, like a really nice player reference card. But you could tell they went like super duper cheap on everything. Like like things are like the tokens are one-sided, and like you can see bleed on the tokens, and like it's like if this were like just had more polish, this game is so solid. It's like this blind bidding game, dungeon crawler. It's like a really solid game. And it just, but there was just yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, it's crazy.
It grinds your gears.
It does.
should be-
Like when I see a game, it's like this game could totally be a contender, but it's just like the rule booklet sucks, or it's just
Well, at least you're getting it. I mean, a lot of publishers just let it go with a shitty rule. You know,
well, a lot of Kickstarter publishers. I don't feel like
Yes.
most major publishers are that bad with their rule booklets.
well, I just did that Carcassonne big box. You know, there was some fucking that was all quality control, but
I was gonna say,
yeah.
oh, that's got to be frustrating. You buy a big box, and it's like, how do you f that rule booklet up? Like this is like you reprinting it again. What was wrong with the rule booklet?
The Rivers expansion, they were talking about another version completely, one with more tiles that were actually in the game.
Oh, that is such a shot. Oh, what?
And then there was mix-ups on the artwork on the box. There was a fuck up on that. It was like a road connecting to a field or something.
That's not so bad, but
I can't remember. I was staring at the box one day and noticed it while I was thinking about something. But on the rule book, during the rules, I can't remember what expansion it was for, but it was like do this to claim roads. It was something with the symbols. One was meant to be roads, but they got the symbols mixed up with like the castle or whatever in the description and shit. There was a couple of fuck ups on that rule book. Yeah, and like nothing changed in that game. Not even the artwork on the tiles and shit. Nothing changed in that game, but the artwork on like the box and the rule book, basically.
okay. So here's my question,
Yeah.
Lance. How does that most likely happen? Like, what if in your mind, what was the most likely culprit to that happening, that situation happening? That seems like such a glaring f up to anyone who's just like a casual board game fan.
I mean, you're just so close to it, and you didn't have an outside editor come in and take a look and give it a thorough look over.
But isn't it just copy pasting rules like that you've already done?
That's what they did, but
So-
to the wrong version.
So Forrest, I helped proofread and edit a rule book for a company with a group of people. Like we all literally went through and made notes, and because the company that made the game, English was not their first language.
Oh yeah, that okay.
And
Yeah.
we did it and did it and did it and did it and did it for literally for months. And when they sent the file to the printer, they sent the previous file and not the final one.
Yeah, that happens because there's no source control on any of it. I don't think many publishers are using document control.
Uh,
Oh,
And then
how
to
bad
answer
does that feel when you
To
realize
answer your
that?
other question about the designer thing, I received a 4-page email from a designer once when I explained on the podcast about how horrible the rule book was. And they explained to me that they didn't write the rule book.
I did get
Me
that.
that printed it wrote the rule book.
Oh,
I got that from one of the games in the store, Scott. It may have been Patios.
wow.
He's
That's
yeah,
good insight.
So they wrote the rules out
yeah.
for the publisher, and the publisher had someone edit the rule book
Ah,
and did not write the rules, explain the rules the way the game is supposed to be played.
I would be so mad.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's
I got a 4-page email to which I politely said to him, it doesn't matter. That's what's out there. That's what I have to review.
Yeah.
that's
And that's how I feel. Because if you're getting a game for the first time and the rule book's like that, you know, that's going to sour your whole thing. If you can't understand how to play the game, you know, I mean. But if it's a publisher that I know doesn't have like an English backing or something. Like Carcassonne, there's no reason for that. Z-Man's been printed in English for a decade, at least, you know. But I mean, if it's like Patios, it was a Spanish publisher that mainly speaks Spanish, you know, doesn't really distribute over here. That I'll give a pass to an extent. But not if it's something like that where it's English, it's been here for years, you know. That's just in my opinion, if you're not paying that much attention to that, you know, you just don't really care about the game.
Yeah, the language thing, that totally makes so much sense to me.
Right. And again, there's some publishers that don't take the time or the care, or some people don't even know what the hell they're actually putting out there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story. I'm at a convention playing a game that came out at Essen from a foreign publisher that was announced before I was at this place playing this game, that a US publisher had picked up the rights to it, and they were going to put it out here. And I'm sitting there playing the game, and the owner of said publisher comes over and goes, "Oh, this game looks cool. What game is that?"
Yeah.
And I said, "It's your game." And they were like, "What?" I said, "This is your game." And then they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Great game."
It happens.
That
Things that
still
make
makes
you
me
go,
laugh
"Hmm."
to this day.
I actually, I'm not going to
Where's
say.
Barry when you need him? The other Barry.
Other back, I don't know.
He's the things that make you go, "Hmm."
I actually got to contact him. I'm going to cancel.
See how
our
Essen
live
was.
stream. Yeah, we were supposed to do something on Tuesday. I'm going to cancel it though. I got to contact him.
Did you get anybody to do your podcast?
I did. They backed out. That's why I'm going to cancel it.
They backed out.
Yeah, and this is the last time I'm trying. This is the third try.
It's
I've
hard,
tried
right?
to do this.
Yeah, it's
What happened, Barry?
I knew it was going to be an uphill struggle because I don't have a big following, but beyond that, it's a touchy subject to begin with a lot of people, you know. But it wasn't meant to be.
Fill me in.
I wanted to get board gamers who have handicaps, you know, physical or whatever, to see how they overcame the handicap to play board games. You know, like when I lost my hands and legs and shit, I used Pandemic in the hospital. I was playing that to get to my hands to, you know, and then I used Flick 'em Up for some shit. So when I was going through physical therapy, nobody actually gave you like how to do shit. It was like, is it comfortable for you? You know, whereas you had to figure it out. But I think if people discussed it and said, this is how I did it, maybe it'll work for you or something like that. You know, so I tried it at BGG Spring in person, and the same thing happened. They backed out at the last minute. And then here, you know, a couple people, and then they backed out for whatever reason. So I think I'm just done trying. Yeah. I even tried, like, I didn't even have to be involved. I just think this is a good idea because eventually, whether you get old or not, you know, something's going to happen where shit like this is going to happen to you, you know? But I forgot to contact Barry though, because he was going to help me. I couldn't do it online myself. I can't focus on the conversation and on the back end shit at the same time. I had a hard time with Evan the last time we did it, and that was just one-on-one, you know. But Barry's going to help me on the back end, and I just decided today that was it, you know. So I gotta call him today or later on. But yeah, life goes on. It's a little disappointing, but
So, Forrest, like, when you talk about like just, he's gone.
that's all.
Did you guys see the latest string of Quackalope videos that appeared on this thing? His channel?
Who?
Quackalope.
Who?
Who?
No, I did not.
He's still
What-
around. He's
what
doing
channel?
stuff still. It's interesting. I'm gonna watch him. I'm very curious to see what he says.
Why? What did he create?
Well, there's a whole string of them.
Well, you want to like? I don't want to have to go look it up.
I don't know the names off the top of my head. Let me give a second. I'll bring them up.
What is it like? Videos of games that you did
No,
videos of?
no, not videos of games. Talking about whatever his his controversy is stuff.
Oh, really?
That's why I got.
Good for him.
4 videos. Money in the board game industry, pulling back the curtain. Why can't I be grateful? I lost 5,500 subscribers. An apology that needs to be made. And mental health update, the future of Quackalope. And then there's I'm a Jew, because I guess he converted to Judaism.
Well, no, he's always been.
Nah, he's
And then
always
that's it. And then a video about games. So it's like 5 videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is that there's the Ahmed one about the thing that's going on in the Middle East?
I don't know. I'm not
Learn
sure.
more about the situation in Israel from Jewish voices. So
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I was just guess he really, guess he's kind of trying to get back into it.
Well, he's been putting stuff out.
I stopped following him years ago.
I guess charging, you can keep putting videos out, but I think he had we had like 4 employees or something, and like pretty active,
Oh, Lance,
selling
I
videos.
found out some more information about the thing we started talking about at the beginning about the new game,
okay.
about how you can be it. So basically, it works on you're all part of the community that goes to Molly houses, and you're trying to avoid the people who are trying to prevent you from going. So there's kind of think of a Freedom Underground Railroad game where there's constables moving around the board that you're trying to avoid. And
Okay.
if you get caught or something, you can get like charges against you. And after you have a certain amount of charges, you can choose whether to become an informant. And the only way you can win the game is if the other people fail. So that's the hidden role. So at the beginning of the game, it's not like you deal them out and one person's like, "Oh, I'm the underground person." So you can have a game where no one turns and becomes an informer. You can have a game where everyone's an informer and nobody knows that everyone's an informer trying to get everyone else to fail.
Yeah. And this is I know I've referenced this before. The print and play game, The Thing, that's on BGG. If you want to take the time to print and play it, it is of all the games that have come out that are based on The Thing, that is still the best one.
Is it still there?
I think so.
Never took it down.
I don't think it's been taken down.
It's funny is because I had to redo my game room. So I had packed some stuff I hadn't unpacked yet and everything. So I started unpacking it. And I found my print and play of Pandemic Express.
Oh, yeah.
I still love that game. That game is still good.
Wasn't that didn't Stronghold do a game based off of that print and play thing, or was that another game?
They
That
did
Outpost
Jupiter, I forget what it's called, Jupiter Outpost or something like that, which
They did
was
the one where they were moving, you had to move through the different things and you had to pass up trade stuff with people. The David Ausluce game.
Moon something.
David Ausluce.
I can't remember.
There's a name from the past.
Darkest.
No,
Or no,
Dark Moon?
I know what you're talking about. It was
Yes, David's the one that wrote me the 4-page email that I referenced earlier.
Infected. No, what was the name of that game?
But wasn't that based on the print and play, or is that another game I'm thinking of?
Darkest was a horrible game.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Was it bad?
It
still have
was
Yeah,
it was almost
wanted to play it.
unplayable.
Darkest. Yeah, I remember me and Jamie trying to figure that. Yeah,
All right, hold on, I'll tell you what the game is. The other one, Panic Station.
Oh yeah, that game is broken. I mean, it was fun for like a minute.
Which one?
Panic Station.
Yeah, and
It didn't quite work right.
The problem was that he expected you to like role play your character in certain situations instead of doing what the mechanics would beg you to do.
Yes.
And then he was just like I remember him telling me that, like, when I was like, yeah, this doesn't work or whatever, he's like, well, the people have to play it a certain way for it to work. And if you don't play it like you're supposed to, it's not going to work.
Right.
And I'm just like, well, why?
And it's not intuitive to even try to play it that way. So the problem with Darker, Darkest is the rulebook was horrible.
The rulebook was hideous.
And that was the thing. He wrote me that 4-page thing saying that the rules were edited by them. But the other problem with that game in general is
he released those rules, I believe.
Yes, he did, and he even sent me a copy of them, and I was like, I this is what I got. This is what I have to.
Yeah.
But the other problem with that game is you spend so much time trying to meet other objectives that you either have to do the objectives or kill the zombies. But you can't win if you don't complete the objectives. But if you work on the objectives, the zombies end up swarming you and you're done anyway. There's no balance to the game.
Right.
And the production is horrible on it too.
That's why I got it for $5.
The mini,
That's why, Scott.
the
Right.
mini,
And you threw $5 away.
the minis in that game looked like they were made by the guys who made the Green Army Men in the 60s.
I like my green orange.
Where they were kind of
I
where
remember
they,
talking
they,
to Queen about
they
this.
were kind of flat, their stomachs.
Uh,
Yeah, I remember when he was so excited about those minis. Because it was like the heyday of Kickstarter,
Yeah,
right?
it was
Like,
a lot. It was like one of those games that
like stretch goals, like the dawn.
I was excited about that game. It sounded cool.
What game?
Darker, Darkest.
Oh, that dice game?
No, that's Strike.
Dark strike. Dice
It
game.
has like a hand on the front, right? Darker, Darkest.
Like a zombie reaching out.
Yeah. I've seen that game. Never played it. Looks fun.
So Forrest, when you're talking about how do those things happen, like perfect example, we recently with Gray Fox Games. So in Gray Fox Games for Last Light that's coming out, so the expansion is supposed to have all the stuff, and one of the things the expansion is supposed to have is it's supposed to have its own set of dice. Now you can play the game without that second set of dice. It just helps if two people are having combat at the same time, you have an extra 6 dice to play. Well, just because who knows what happened, between the manufacturer and like listing of the ingredient, we found out that basically there was one spreadsheet that instead of a 1, there was a 0 in one spot. And so the manufacturer didn't put the dice in all the expansions that we published. So we basically had to have them make a bunch more dice and have them air freight over. And now we're in the process of putting those with each Kickstarter order. I mean, it's just like Last Light. It's just like, so when you get your copy of Last Light, which is going to start shipping to the US this week, when you get those, it's like, and if you got the expansion, and this was in an update that we posted, you will get what?
Nobody read it.
Well, yeah, but you'll get your box of the base game, you'll get your box with the expansion, and you'll get a little envelope that'll have 6 dice in it. So, yeah, it's just because just crazy stuff like that happens.
Well, we've seen games before where it says this is supposed to be purple, this is supposed to be green, and it's backwards.
Yeah.
My favorite misprint thing ever is when they reprinted oh my god, which game is it now? Indonesia? Is it Indonesia?
Yeah, that's a game.
And they did it on Kickstarter and they deluxeified the bits.
Oh.
And the pieces are like this big. They're like twice the size, like 3 or 4 times the size they should be.
So the
And
scale
they're
is
like,
off by one.
You can't use them because they don't fit on the board.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah. There was a rash ad for a while. I remember there was a game with minis that the minis didn't fit on the space. I can't remember what it was now.
Oh yeah, I've had a
There's
couple of
tons
those
of games like
before.
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Uh,
that happens way too often.
That's nothing new.
Kickstarter.
And that's a nearly
Gotta love
impossible
it.
thing to figure out too when that shit happens. It's just
Is it impossible?
it's
I
just I mean it's just like stuff like that happens all the freaking time just because it's like, oh, you need this, you know.
You don't get a proof of the games. I mean,
You
Yeah.
absolutely get
don't
proofs, but you know how many times I've gotten a proof of a game and then you say it's good and then they fuck up the proof. You know, you just
And that's on them then.
well, it is. And
That's
then they
my
have-
job.
Yeah,
I'm
I
the
mean-
person. That
Yeah,
makes me so nervous.
that's
Like I can
quality
screw up
control.
somebody's
Am I-
baby.
There should be somebody at
It,
the
it
final thing
absolutely,
saying
it
this
absolutely
right
is
or
on them.
wrong.
But here's the deal: it's like, but you know, and you can say to your like 3,000 backers, this is wrong, and they made a mistake, and they're going to remake it, and then you know, and you apologize, but they're still like, I want my fucking game, assholes. Where is it? And you're just like, well, you know, and then people are like, oh, I'm sure you just fucked it up and they're just taking the fall for you. You know, it's like, yeah, that's exactly what this manufacturer wants to do. They want people saying that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know, it's stuff like
That's what
that.
it sounds like, though. I mean, somebody at the end of that factory should be saying, yes, this is right or this is wrong. It's common QA.
Do
Yeah.
you honestly believe that when you're, you know, when you're dealing with a Chinese manufacturer, so like the company that Forrest works for, they don't own a manufacturer. They're a company that takes orders, that takes those orders and then gives them to like manufacturers that they have contracts with. I mean, I can't speak 100% for what, but I'm guessing
No,
it's
no,
like
my
what
the
most,
behind my boss is like literally the floor. Like
I
he's
understand, but that probably, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it's different for you, but the vast majority of all these manufacturing companies that reach out, like whether it's, I mean, Panda probably owns some of their own stuff, but I mean, whether it's Long Pack or, you know, Meiji or whatever, just name any of them. They most likely don't own the tooling factories. They don't own any of those things. They don't own the factory where the games are actually being processed and put together. They don't own the printing presses or anything like that. They have contracts with those companies that do
Right.
that stuff.
Or if they own anything, they own one piece of the chain.
Yeah.
yeah, we got cards and we got mostly paper.
But I'm saying still, there
But
should
so-
be
but
somebody on the
the-
final product saying yeah or no. You know, where
I mean,
you know?
you honestly believe, I mean, let's just take a moment here. There's a reason why you print in China. It's because it's cheap. And now it's cheap and of really good quality. That's why, because
Apparently
there's-
not if they can't get the game correct.
no, the game, the
You know?
stuff, the actual wood is good quality. The actual like the board, you know, the cards are of good quality. The stuff they're making it out of is good stuff. But do you honestly feel that at the end of that, with the differences in language and everything else, there's going to be one person who they don't have any goddamn clue what they're putting together? It's a board game. They might know it's a board game, but they're not looking at After the Empire and thinking, "Oh wow, is this that game made by so and so and so and so that was right?" No, it's put 40 of these cubes in a bag, ziplock it, and put it in a.
Here's the funny
Oh
thing.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know how long you've been playing games, Barry, but I know that all the, and Lance, remember, do you remember when we used to get games that had the same minis?
Yes.
Like, oh, we need plastic spaceships. Here you go. We'll put them in here. What you call it? The Tasty Minstrel game.
Yeah. No. They were all the
All had the same plastic ships as three other
Eminent
games.
domain.
No, it was Eminent Domain because they used the same models that the first thing was Galactic Empire by
Yes.
Adam
Elliot?
West. Adam D. West was the guy who made that. Nice guy, super nice
Yes.
guy. He
I
made
saw
that
it on copy. I love that game.
he made that ninja game that was amazing. I forget what it was now, but the press your luck ninja game. Like, do you want to sneak into the fortress and stuff? I think Z-Man Games made it. Super good.
Galactic Empire.
No, the Ninja game that he made. Galactic Empire was good too, but the Ninja game was really good.
But I'm not talking about a game that was made 10, 15 years ago. It's just 2023. Kickstarter is gouging people for this shit. They should be able to get the game right. You know? That's what I'm getting at. I worked in production. Like, them trains weren't, parts for that shit wasn't made in one spot. It was all over the country and all over the world in certain parts of it because they were Swiss made to begin with. But, somebody was like, yes, this is good. No, this isn't good. Even with, different languages, French and Swedish and all that. It's 2023. What the fuck? Stop gouging people. And then, doing stupid shit like this. Rule books. You can't understand how to play the game. First thing they see.
Rule books have come a long way.
They have, but it
Ninjato.
is still the first thing you see. It should be
Ninjato,
the
yes.
most
Galactic Empire,
important
by the way.
thing. What's Scott?
Galactic Emperor was the game of the
Galactic Emperor, yeah.
Adam West game. And then Ninjato. I never played that one.
Ninjato was great.
It's ranked 1,278 overall.
Well, that's solid. Rarefied air
Pretty
up
solid
there.
for a game that came out in 2011 without any support.
I know everything sucks. Yeah, I know everything sucks. Whoa.
The Golden
I don't
Age.
know.
You guys ever play the Golden Ages?
Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I always meant to play it. The art is not good, but I wanted to play it.
Get it at Walmart for $80.19. $80.99.
Which one?
The Golden Ages.
Golden Ages? It's on Walmart?
Oh yeah.
It's on
Walmart.com.
It's probably Noble Knight, right?
You
You get it for $9.50 on Noble Knight.
No, it's $9.50.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this you gotta support small business.
Isn't Noble Knight a small business?
Nah, but Toys on Fire. It's sold by Toys on Fire. They have one seller
What's that?
review. It's
Some
4
person
stars.
with a garage full of stuff.
That's what it looks like.
I mean-
They're selling
That's what it looks like.
Forbidden Island, a Bandai action figure, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 DVD.
Does Walmart have a marketplace now? Like where anyone can sell anything?
That is exactly what this looks like. I am right now looking at this man's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 7-inch scale action figure of Ultimate Casey Jones for $69.95. There are very negative reviews about this action figure. It has a 1.6 out of 5. People do not like this Casey Jones action figure. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like, Scott. But man, this action figure is pretty cool. Yeah, that's weird. Good for Walmart. Saw the trend, jumped on it.
So just to loop back to last week, if anyone was interested, the Toyzo game table
Oh yeah, how's that
lost
game?
$40,000 since last week.
It lost 40,000.
Yes, they're at $500,000 in funding right now, but
That's
that
still
may
crazy
change
money.
this week.
That
For
ship
this
is.
nonsense
Now,
table.
did they post an update finally? Are they?
Oh,
Still,
I didn't know. I just looked at the total before we got on tonight.
I
That
gotta
would
check.
be that would be a negative Ghost Rider. They have not gone through with.
This is
No.
not a scam.
It's imminent. I've never seen a trend like this. It's starting to go down. It's beautiful. So beautiful. Assuming it is a scam.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't.
at
It
this
doesn't
point.
look good.
Every day that goes by, it looks worse.
But the thing is they're going to get to the end, and it's going to. What I hate about that is the fact that it's like Kickstarter just isn't stepping in, and that's one of those where if Kickstarter was like saying, "Okay, this doesn't look good," but they don't care. They just want their 5%.
Right.
It's good for GameFound. Stuff like this definitely good for GameFound. Good for them. They got a new table coming out in a couple weeks. Looks really cool. The Stowy table turns into like a stool from a table. Looks pretty hot.
So how many units? Let me take a wagers here. I'll get a piece of paper and a pen. How many units of the game trays table are they going to sell? So it's $150.
Well, did he post?
It's
price?
It's 6 feet by 3 feet, the play area.
Oh, that's nice.
Table.
And it's like 4 inches around the rail. It says 12 cup holders, but it's like 8 regular size ones, and then there's one
That's
like
Noah.
a-
Noah's gonna finally make that table.
What?
You talking about game trays? Like
Game trays.
yeah, Noah's gonna finally make that table. He's been working on that forever.
Yep. So $150.
When is that launching? Did he say?
Soon. I got an email today. Hold on.
That thing's gonna blow the F up with their brand recognition. Like, that's good for them.
He does well.
$3 million. That's my guess.
3 million for a $150 table. What's the all in though? Like how
No,
many?
we guess how many tables they're gonna sell, not how much they're gonna make.
We'll divide 3 million by
10,000.
6.
150.
10,000.
I mean, I always say, I mean, like, I think he'll get 1,000 bags.
1,000
Oh,
backers
I think it'd be way more than that for that price.
for a $150 table that folds.
Because here's the
That's
thing:
sharp- that's solidly designed. Like, I mean, I'm sure he designed it well.
actions this game trays has. Like, they're gonna be using like the announcement of this. Like, I imagine this that like
Is it up yet?
I think we're talking 10,000, Lance.
No, they haven't announced
going
when they're
big
gonna
time.
launch. Yeah, they just released the final dimension. So it's the actual table itself is 3 foot by 9 inch by 6 foot by 8 inch opened, and the play area is 6 by 3. And here's where the kicker is in the whole thing.
Okay.
It's not, the inside area is not square.
Rectangle?
No, it's a rectangle, but it's not, the corners come in. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
the
I saw that. It
corners
does.
are.
It looks weird.
So they're gonna have their own
Like a gem type deal.
play mats that go in there that will
Oh,
be only
Proprietary
there.
shit. Yeah.
You won't be able to-
oh,
Yeah. That's
print that money. Print that money. That's so good for them. Good for them. Hope they land the shipping. Stick the landing on the shipping. But man, that price point. It's just stupid. It's like, oh, do I want to back this game or do I just want to get a table?
So it's gonna be 150 plus whatever the cost of the
shipping.
the mat is,
Oh, no.
play mat.
Nice.
But I'm gonna guess with shipping, it's gonna come out to like 225, 250.
Yeah, I was thinking closer to 250, 300. Yeah.
The only setback I see to the whole thing is it looks like it's only coming in like white or like this off white color.
Just spray paint it when you get it.
Pigment costs money, ain't he?
Isn't he doing? I don't know what can say because he showed it to me. I'm not going to say anything just because I'm not 100% sure what I can say.
I'm sure it's just as easy to make them in black and blue and red and whatever color you want to make them in.
You might.
I don't know.
We'll go 10,000.
I'm sure that pigment costs money. You know, they're going to add that in the cost somewhere.
Well, it's plastic.
We're going to do a prediction.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying.
It's plastic, so you just infuse plastic, whatever color plastic you want to infuse it in.
No, yeah,
Dye is not going to cost that much money to making them in China.
that's true too. I'm thinking that different things.
Yeah. What are the? I like those tables that Costco sells. The lifetime tables.
I was actually looking at one of them, Scott.
They're very nice.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
What are they called? Lifestyle
Life-
tables?
Lifestyle or lifetime. I think it's lifetime or lifestyle. I don't know.
I
Life
can't
something.
remember now.
I can never remember.
I love Costco.
Yeah, I can't
You
remember.
love- I was just at Costco today.
So nice. Foldable 6-inch or 6 foot. Yeah, those are nice. Those are
Are they
nice.
lifestyle or lifetime?
That Lifetime, they're just like folding tables though.
Yeah,
But I guess if you just got a table
they're
topper,
solid though.
yeah, I get a table
They're
topper
very,
on that.
they're very well made.
How much is a table topper? Again, you put one of those on there, boom. Best
Game
of both
topper?
worlds.
Oh, like a Berkey thing.
Yeah, Birkin
Yeah.
thing.
You really need
Oh,
one.
Game Toppers launches one here in a week or so too.
Dude. Do you really? I mean, the gaming tables are nice, but do you really need one?
I've got a good dining room table, so I don't really need a gaming table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got a
it's-
really nice
it's-
dining room table that behind me that
I mean, I would.
the one you
might-
can see behind me. It's huge. Has room to fit six huge guys, huge Midwestern dudes comfortably.
Yeah. Like I thought about making one time, only cause it's a fucking beaker. Like I'd like to set a game and leave it alone, but the fucking cat will try to eat something. Yeah, that's the only reason I ever thought about one. But other than that, I don't. I found them uncomfortable. The few that I have played on, after a while, like you tend to sit differently. Yeah, could just be me.
I was thinking about this as I was playing Mortal Kombat with my son today. We're just having fun and and teaching him the art of talking trash. Just because I mean I'll fully admit because as soon as he started beating me, I started like talking trash and being all like, because if you get in somebody's head, you can usually make them screw up, but. We were having fun. I was just thinking about like, I remember when like the very first Mortal Kombat ever came out, and just how like everybody was just blown away because it was violent, it was hyper violent and things like that. And then, but I was like thinking about, it's like, Jesus, these Mortal Kombat games, there's been like, 87 of them. And they're all kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But then you think about all the other fighting games too. I mean, like, and then the knockoff ones. I mean, obviously there's Street Fighter, which everybody, and then there was God, I can't remember, like the one I really liked called Samurai Showdown. That was like a ripoff of
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, but I really
It
liked
had
it.
weapons though.
Yeah, that was what was cool about it.
I thought that was one of the better ones. That was like a Neo Geo game.
Yeah, and then
That cartridge cost me $250. The one cartridge.
Wow.
Expensive. Those Neo Geo systems, man, they were rip off.
Or
they were super expensive.
They were.
I
There
knew
was a
one
place
guy who
local here
had
in
one, and
Dallas
I
that
was
sold
just
the
kind of like,
cartridges.
I was like stunned that he had a Neo Geo because I didn't think anybody actually had him.
Who had it?
But I had a buddy who had a Neo Geo. I remember I would go over and play it all the time. And it's always one of those things people are like, oh, if I had this, I'd play it all the time. And then you're just kind of like,
You played a while and then you stop.
hey, Lance, if
I
Evan's
played a
coming
lot.
on,
What?
if Evan's going to stop in tonight.
I don't know. If he was going to, he would have done so already by now.
I had a thought exercise. I wanted to try with you guys. But it would be nice if he was here.
So this weekend is the start of the Pinball Expo in Chicago.
Oh, that sounds fun.
You going to Chicago?
I'm not going.
No.
I would go if I was feeling better.
Or-
You should check out the Midwest
the doctor
Gaming
yesterday doing
Classic
new stuff.
sometime, Scott.
What's that?
We should do that, man. We should get together for an Alaboom at the Midwest Gaming Classic. It's in Wisconsin, and it's a huge pinball thing.
That's yeah. Chicago and Wisconsin and Illinois are basically pinball centers.
Pardon?
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
There's a new pinball coming out from a new company called Barrels of Fun. Is that a good name for a pinball company? I can't decide if it's good or not. I don't think it's great.
I don't think it matters. I think
It was
I think
called the
it's-
Mystery Pinball Company until they revealed their name. I think the Mystery Pinball Company is better.
Yeah, I think it's
than
cool. Name.
Barrels of Fun. Like, what does that mean? Barrels of Fun. Anyway, it's Labyrinth themed. Their first game. Remember that
Yeah,
movie?
David Bowie movie.
David
Yeah.
Bowie, Jennifer Connelly,
Didn't they try to
Jim
make a
Henson, Muppet,
Yeah,
lots of Muppets, lots of cheesy stuff, songs.
I think they tried to make a sequel to it or something.
Were they gonna make a sequel? Anyway,
Hmm.
that's getting released this weekend as far as like a new pinball machine. I'm not engaged in I'm not entranced by that theme at all.
Hmm.
I mean, I like
the
that movie,
Muppets.
The Labyrinth. I do
The
not like that
Labyrinth.
movie. I mean, I think it looks like a cool machine, but
Yeah,
I just don't think it's one that I would. I mean, I'll play it.
that one with them weird looking Muppets, David Bowie and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird movie.
And then also pinball machine from Jersey Jack is coming out for themed with Elton John as the main Elton John pinball.
Jersey Jack.
That's the pinball update.
Ooh.
Pinball.
Elton John and Labyrinth, and then probably
Labyrinth.
something else. I mean, I'm sure.
Hey,
there's-
you're gonna let me come to your pinball place, aren't you?
yeah, if we can make it over here,
No.
we have to
We
pull
got-
ourselves away.
Can't let it-
Oh, if you go to Alliance anytime in the future, I should take you to the one in Fort Wayne because it is pretty awesome. They got tournaments. They got a whole bunch of. It's awesome. It's like the 7th largest in the country. They advertise. I think it is. Me and my wife went a couple months ago on a date, and we
Where is it?
loved it. Fort Wayne, Indiana.
It's got a pretty cool setup where he is. Not only the pinball stuff, but the whole building. But the pinball's really
That's right. Barry's been there.
it's a cool setup there. Yeah, I think you got when I was there, you had one that you just picked up, but you hadn't uncrated it yet because you were busy with the con.
Yeah, we were a little too busy.
I can't remember what the game was now. I remember Lincoln talking to me about it though. And he had another one open. I can't remember the Adams Family or something. It was like
Adam's Family, baby.
it's a 2-level thing. I can't remember what it was now.
One of the best pinball machines ever.
Thing comes out and picks up the ball.
Yep. And I know I've said this story before, but one of the things I love about that game is that there's this thing you have to hit like 5 times, whatever, then it opens up the secret door, and then you can get, and then that's where you lock a ball to start multi-ball or whatever. But because it's pinball and it's kinetics, like certain times you'll hit a certain spot, it'll hit a bumper, and the ball will jump. And occasionally
Sneak in the back door.
it'll just jump over it,
Yeah.
and it'll go
I think I was
inside.
part of that. Yeah.
And then straight out of Adam's Family, like the first Adam's Family, Raul Julia's voice says, "Dirty pool, old man, I like it." Yeah, I was just like, that is so sweet. And
It can
They're like-
detect that you cheated.
well,
By the
no,
way,
it
there's
was
a
just
great
basically like,
video.
it isn't open, so trigger that voice or whatever.
There's a great video. Hold on, let me pull it up because I cannot remember the name of the YouTube channel.
And there was for the longest time there was like Midway Classics the video like for on PlayStation, and I have them, and like they discontinued the game, but if you bought it way back in the day you can still get it. But anyway, the Addams Family game is on there, and to play pinball, which of course isn't like real pinball, but it's it's whatever, it's fun. And in the actual like digital pinball game that I can play on my TV, you can do that in the thing. I was like, how did they program that in there? I mean, how is it even possible that they program the chance that you're gonna you'd bounce a ball, the physics of the ball in the video game? You wouldn't think that they would put that in there somehow, but because I've done it like twice ever, and I'm always just it's something that just stuns
There's
me
a
that they do
YouTube
it.
channel called Technology Connections. Have you heard of this?
No.
Me neither. 2 million subscribers, by the way. 2.06.
Good for them.
He
Good.
released a old pinball machines are amazingly complex video. And he teaches you how those original pinball machines, the electromechanical ones, work without a computer. Really cool. I didn't know anything about it. Like I never knew how it did things, and it's very interesting. Like it's a 50-minute video, by the way. And that's only part 1.
They think the old analog
You
ones
need
are
to make a
complicated?
basically it's all analog computing.
Huh. Me and Lincoln actually had a discussion.
It's
on that.
dials and like switches and
Yeah.
relays. It's really cool.
Me and Lincoln
Interested
actually
in
had
it at
a-
all. I think I highly recommend the video. And the
like
guy
it-
he's an interesting guy. I went back and started watching his videos. He's very well produced, like about just technology.
Hmm.
I watched an hour-long thing of him doing a video about a refrigerator.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting channel.
I was actually when, like I
It's,
said, Lincoln had that one that was
Technology
open.
Connections.
Oop.
Was that?
Like I said, when Lincoln had that one that was open, I was surprised how digital it was.
Oh,
Me and Lincoln were
crazy.
actually talking about that. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's
I
tons
was
of computer
expecting
stuff.
all that, analog stuff.
Yeah. Well, the analog ones are interesting too.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of cool tricks that they do to make it track certain things without a computer.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Interesting. So you don't want to go to Chicago?
I mean, I do want to go to Chicago. I've got a standing invite to tour this factory, so I need to get there.
Oh, that
Burn
sounds
factory.
awesome.
They just moved into a new factory.
That's
I just
cool.
need to get out there.
I actually watched a thing on YouTube about this. I watched this guy. I can't remember his name, but he goes around to different parts of the country. But he was in Chicago, and the guy he was with was like, Chicago's like the most corrupt city in America, and he was just like going on about all sorts of stuff. It was
A video, a pinball guy or something.
that was I can't remember the guy's name. He goes around like he's been to Native American tribes, like reservations for them, and like he goes different parts of the world actually before the COVID. But I can't remember what his name is. But yeah, I was just actually watching it today about he's saying Chicago is the most corrupt city in the country. Like the guy was saying, they're still in the feudalism age. It's how corrupt they are. Yeah,
Chicago?
yeah. I wish I remember this guy's name, and I can't.
Anyway,
Like,
No, I'm sure it was.
it's a fascinating industry.
I just went down
pinball,
a pinball rabbit hole while you guys were talking.
Did you?
did
Because I
you?
went to look at the Legacy of the Beast, the Iron Maiden machine.
Yeah.
Because there's two
Designed
versions
by
of
Keith
it.
Elwin. Yeah.
But the coolest thing,
Yeah, premium.
Scott, if you get that one,
I don't like Iron
you
Man.
have to go and look for the extras. So there's people like on Etsy who have like
Modifications.
the Spitfire from Aces High with Eddie in it that goes over one of the tracks, and then another thing where you put monoliths on the sides of the ramps. It's freaking insane.
Pinball mods is like a big deal. Like there's guys that just all they do is mod pinball. They make mods that you buy and you just put them in your machine.
Oh my god, it's insane. I was just looking at one with all these things, and I'm like, that's freaking crazy.
I went through this at first too.
I've
Anyone
modded my
Scott was
Godzilla.
it,
I've put in like 5 or 6 things in the Godzilla.
yeah.
That's definitely like my favorite. I don't like Iron Man. Sorry, Kabuki.
You don't like Iron Man? Oh,
No,
what's wrong?
I like the pinball machine. It's okay. I just don't think I have attachment to the theme of it. Doesn't do anything for me.
Hmm.
I'm the same, bro.
Oh,
I tried to get into it.
I have limited space. I mean,
yeah. Michelle put the hand.
not a lot of
in.
room. Not a lot more room, I should say. There's a lot of room, but it's not. It's basically taken up.
I just don't understand what's wrong with you.
So-
Iron Maiden
Okay, so you,
666.
No, I just don't like it.
what's the
Like Metallica.
what's the pinball game that's like the amusement park?
Whirlwind.
No, and then it's like ride the cyclone.
Yeah, I think that's Whirlwind. It might be Cyclone or Comet.
It's like the thing opens up, like the door opens up, and then the ramp, and you can actually go up the ramp. But when it opens, it just says ride the cyclone.
Yeah. Funhouse? No, Funhouse has got the
I
face
gotta
on
look
it.
it up.
Cyclone was good. Yeah, I think it was just called Cyclone, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Is Funhouse one with a fan on top? I like the one with the fan on the top that blows.
Yeah,
you.
no, it's called Cyclone. Yeah, that's it.
It's called Cyclone.
Does anybody know the fan one? The name of that one?
Fan one.
There was one with a fan on you. It had a amusement park theme. It was really fun. They really
Yeah, I
saw
remember the
it.
one with the fan. I remember that
Uh,
one too.
And the fan was like, you'd think that'd be the best gimmick, but no, like the game kicked ass too. My favorite though is the mansions. Is it's the castle. So you got to knock the castle down. You got the gates. You got to hit the gates, and then you open the castle and it shakes.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. Medieval Madness.
That's the one. I love that one. Spent many hours at truck stops playing that one.
That's
Long.
a fun Whirlwind. Was that the one with the fan?
Ride the whirlwind.
There's a lot of
Whenever you
pinball
say
machines.
that-
Yeah, no joke.
Whenever
And
you say that,
four,
that's it.
4 to 5 or 6 new ones come out per year now. Crazy.
Really,
Yeah, it was basically almost dead.
I thought it was.
It was basically dead. Gary Stern kept it alive. Sheer will and money.
Money helps.
Money, money.
Got an incredibly loyal fan base now, though. Fervent.
I don't know. Does it? I mean, it's a sizable fan base, but it's not as near. It's like the smallest. It's got to be pretty small.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
There's
know.
some famous people like I know Dave Grohl was into it, Slash. Yeah, there's
Oh, yeah.
a few. Look at Magic. You think, people who play that one, that's gotten a lot bigger, or not Magic, Dungeons and Dragons rather.
Haunted House had 3 levels. Tony
Yep.
Basket.
I remember Haunted House.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
Well, anyway, yeah, I wish I was there,
Good
but
time.
I'm still dealing with my health, by the way.
It sucks.
Oh yeah,
suck.
yeah. I know.
So according to what the hell is this again?
Gorgar, yeah. First pinball that talks. Had like 7 words it could say.
No, I can't-
Really?
Yeah.
How'd they do the? Oh, you probably.
I'm not sure about how they did it.
I'm assuming like a magnet tape or something. Oh, I'm curious how they.
Oh,
would
no,
do
I
that.
think it was electronically recorded, but like
Oh,
playback.
that's right.
I was like,
Okay.
All right. So according to
Sam
Pinball
Adams.
Magazine, Medieval Madness is the greatest pinball machine ever made.
it used to be.
This is according to Pinball Magazine. I'm just going.
I
Well,
agree.
so there is a BGG for pinball
There is
called Pinside.
pin side.
They have rankings.
What?
ratings.
Mr. Bash is number
It
Oh
has the
my
same problems as
God.
BGG. I've dove into the forums. It's actually quite rotten.
Is this
Uh,
yours or is this just a thing?
It's not mine. I'm a
Oh, this
user. now.
looks. Oh
do you
yeah, and
mean?
even this looks very similar, doesn't it? Oh my!
It's amazingly similar. I was stunned, and I wrote to the owner and I said, "Wow, I can't believe what you've done. Here's my
Top
website.
100.
We're basically the same. Not exactly, but there's differences.
Uh,
The one thing with them is there's really only like one giant thread per game.
Hmm.
So there's like 10,000 posts for like one game in one thread. They're not split out like BGG's forums,
Yeah,
So it's just this ongoing conversation about one game
right.
over and over.
This kind of makes me feel good looking at these numbers, and I'm like, hey, we always think about how small board games is, and it's like we're bigger than pinball.
Oh, we're way bigger.
We're
than
kicking
pinball.
the shit out of pinball.
Yeah, we're way
Really?
bigger.
Get bent,
Oh, yeah.
pinball.
Get bent pinball.
Well, no, I can see it. Pinball's an investment. I mean,
I think, yeah, I'm not sure the users, but I know it's probably it's got to be like in the tens of thousands, if not. Maybe
Right. And most people
100,000
who
at most.
own a pinball machine own a pinball machine.
yeah. That's what
Still
I
a
mean.
cool
It's
site,
an
though.
investment.
It is a great site. It's very I dove into it head first with that and look at all their stuff.
It's one of
I've
those
used the
goals.
marketplace. I've posted. I've tracked my
Yep.
collection. All that stuff.
Stuck at pinball.
Stuck at pinball.
it made me not bother with Pinball Geek.
Yeah,
So I
they
will
kinda-
not create a website that sucks down all the data and put my own version up. That's not my style.
Good.
Should be.
Not that has happened to you, Scott.
There's another
Mm.
site that is just crashed that I found out about that sucked down our data.
Right.
I'm not going to mention the name.
Lazy. I understand inspiration, but that's just lazy. Yeah.
100%.
Uh,
Anyway.
I got something
Pinball's
kinda
down at
interesting.
21. It's the Agricola Pinball.
Agricola pinball. Oh my god, a board game pinball machine. That sounds like such a cool idea.
There's
it doesn't.
there's a version of Monopoly.
Yeah,
There's
no, I mean
Monopoly.
like
There's
I mean like
Monopoly.
one of our games. Like give me some
Right, so
Orleans pinball.
Strike.
Give me some
Come to
Orleans
BGG
pinball.
We're doing a panel called Meeples and Multiballs.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so I did a video. I got to talk about this. So for work, for Bowers Game Corner, just for like as a personal assistant, I downloaded ChatGPT, and I paid for the monthly
heard of
thing to try it out. You know, to get like their advanced features and stuff.
Oh, you're doing the advanced features?
Yeah, because they
How's
got
the
the
advanced
voice.
features?
Oh my god, it's insanity! It's
Can you
amazing.
show it? Can you show it off?
Yeah, I can totally do it. Like, so I shot a video actually. I posted a couple days ago of me designing a board game based on Space Base and Boomtown with my Chat GPT, and she was like my assistant, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind. I could like, oh my gosh, it's yeah. What do I talk about?
Are we in trouble? Are we all gonna regret this
What?
creation?
No,
yeah.
it's gonna.
I know you don't care.
Oh my gosh.
We know you don't care preserving anybody's.
All right, so here we go. I'll get talking to Sky.
Sky.
Hey Sky, how's
You
it
named
going?
it?
No, it's the name of her.
Can't hear it.
I'm just a computer program, so I don't have feelings, but thanks for asking. It sounds like you might be talking about someone named Sky. What's up with her?
That's the voice I chose for you, but that's neither here nor there. I'm on a podcast right now, and I need you to impress my friends. So do something impressive, please.
Oh, that's cool.
Are you
So-
gonna
I'd be
use?
happy to help out.
Oh.
How about I generate a poem on the spot for you? Give me a topic, and I'll create something special.
Okay. How about a board game? How about a board game? What board game do we want? We want no Carcassonne. That's too easy. Give me one on Flamecraft. Give me a poem about Flamecraft.
It won't know Flamecraft, will it? Scrape BGG.
In a village brimming with magic and flame, Flamecraft, the game, earns its name. Artisan dragons with fire in their breath craft goods and wonders with skill that's top shelf. The village grows lively, shops open their doors with potions and treasures and goodies galore. Each dragon's unique with a special touch.
Isn't that amazing?
In this world of flame, craftsmanship matters much. So gather your friends and take up the quest to see which dragon artisan crafts the best. With fire and magic and strategy too, in the world of flamecraft, may the best crafter be you.
Oh my God, you crushed it, Sky. Thank you. I'm gonna call you Sky, by the way.
Well, but
So it's obviously scraped BGG for the data.
I'm really glad you liked it. And feel free to call me Sky. I'm here to help make your podcast awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like me to do for you?
How does Sky know about the game Flamecraft?
Oh, how do you know about Flamecraft? Where'd you get most of your info on it?
I don't have the ability to browse the internet in real time, but I was trained on a diverse range of internet text up until my last update in September 2021. However, I don't have specific information on
Bullshit.
Flamecraft in my database. If it was released or became popular after that date, or if it is the niche topic, then I wouldn't have detailed information on it. My response was generated based on general knowledge of fantasy and board games.
Bullshit.
This is not a scam.
My friend Scott calls bullshit.
What was
I
the date?
totally understand the skepticism. It's possible that I might have some information on Flamecraft or similar games that have been released before my last update in September 2021.
Flamecraft came out in
And I
2022.
tried my best to generate a relevant response based on that. If Flamecraft was released or popularized after that date, then I
Kickstarter,
wouldn't have
though.
specific information on it.
When was
I
that?
strive to be as accurate as possible with the information I provide.
Can you see the Flamecraft Kickstarter, or can you go check that out? Is that something you can do?
The voice recognition is fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing.
I
get-
can't browse the internet or access.
I have ADHD too. Like part of the video is
So
just
I'm
me
unable
being
to
like,
check
"Hey, you got to
the
come down to my level
Kickstarter
because
or any other
you're
website.
talking too much."
Can only provide
And so she
information
looked up like
based on what was
ADHD
available
facts and like was
until
like,
my
"I can start talking to you
in
differently."
September 20. If Flamecraft's
That's unreal, right?
Kickstarter campaign
Yeah,
happened
it's nuts. It's to change everything.
What's said about the Kickstarter campaign? I don't know, man. I mean,
That
it's
poem
definitely-
was fantastic. Can we all
Yeah,
agree
she-
that
she
poem
tried
was
to-
impressive?
He tried to rhyme self
Basic.
and breath together. That doesn't rhyme.
basic.
It's not
Well,
like
here's-
Newfoundland and Telegram.
Well, here's the thing, Lance. I could have went back in there and I could have been like, "I don't like this part of the poem. Give me 3 more options." And then
Yeah,
3 more. Boom. And I could fine tune it. I could make it exactly how I want it to. That's
Ask
what I was
her to
doing with the board
ask her to
game.
give you some strategy on how to win in the game Flamecraft.
Okay. There's
What
I
is
mean,
this
I don't,
on?
I don't like Flamecraft. but-
Anything
I like
to work
Flamecraft.
less.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so
Oh, I know this is a dream
Forrest,
come true for you.
Forrest,
all right.
what
What's
is-
a strategy? What are some good strategies for Flamecraft?
Is this like an app or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a chat it's a chat system.
I'm sorry for any confusion, but I don't have any information on a game called Flamecraft because it doesn't exist in the data I was trained on.
Except it told
My
you a
last
story.
update was in September 2021.
I
Was
think.
it updated in September 2021? I
Yeah,
didn't
but you
catch
gave me a
that.
poem. So how did you get that poem?
Well, so sometimes it's weird like that, man. I don't know.
Or indie game.
How about Catan? Catan.
All right. Let me go.
How much is it a month?
Hey, can I get a strategy for to help me win a game of Catan?
Absolutely.
$20, I think. 24. I wanted to try it out.
In Catan, securing valuable resource spots and diversifying your access to resources are key strategies. Here are a few tips. Prioritize resource diversity. Aim to have access to all 5 resources. This gives you more flexibility when trading and building. Control key spots. Pay attention to the numbers on each hex. Tiles with a higher probability of being rolled, like those with a 6 or an 8, are especially valuable.
I could literally turn
Build
this
the
into a YouTube
longest
video.
road.
I should
This could be a great
literally
way to
turn
earn
this
extra
into a
points,
YouTube
but
video.
don't focus
I-
on it to the detriment of your
Do
other
something
strengths.
more fun.
It is lame and it is not particularly fun, but it will be incredibly effective. Especially like I had an idea because here's the other thing. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. So I was helping my son with his homework yesterday. And part of his reward was he could talk to it for a little bit. And what we ended up doing was taking a picture of his homework. And then like she was like, "Here's what I see of his homework." And like she was helping him with his homework because he had to like draw a terrarium and like label the parts and stuff. And she's like, "Well, here's some common parts of terrarium. Would you like me to describe what it looks like?" And it was crazy. Like he would stutter and he'd get nervous. He'd be like, and she would be like, "Hey, it's okay. Take a deep breath, figure out exactly what you want to say, and then come back to me. I'm listening when you figure out."
And
Like
that-
it was
and that might be a
incredible.
real application for it, honestly.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
as an early childhood educator, like with my degree, like I was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be so much of a godsend for so many kids who,
will.
especially ones with like learning difficulties." It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like, because I got ADHD and I get to the point where I get talking so incredibly fast that it's hard to hear it sometimes, and it picked up everything. It didn't miss a beat. The technology just blew my mind. I wasn't expecting it to be nearly as good as it is. But I'm going to take a picture of a really small rule booklet and see if it can do a how to play, like an actual how to play, and see, can I learn this game through ChatGPT? I think that's like a video right there. Like, hey, I'm going to try and learn this specific old game I got on my shelf that has a small, like 2-page rule booklet, something like that, and see if I can learn it through ChatGPT.
There's some guys that did that for brass.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna.
They have the brass one. Like they try to have one person who read the rule book, one person
Oh
who
yeah,
only had ChatGPT access to ChatGPT.
yeah,
That's cool.
And it was completely failed. But
yeah.
Well, let's try
that
with
was-
something
that was
way
6
more
months ago,
simple.
so maybe it's way more.
Self side.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find a
Shelf
game. I'm
side.
gonna try this tomorrow.
Yeah. Good luck.
Whoa! Strike! I'll see if it can teach me strike. Duh. Easy peasy. Fun
Easy
tomorrow. I'm gonna have some fun
peasy.
tomorrow.
That hot new game.
Strike. To be honest with you, Anthony, I don't really want the hot new game lately. You know, in most cases, I'd rather have a game that's a year and a half, 2 years old. Yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, I think at some point I will have to leverage some AI on BGG just to keep it away from them.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because they don't give a fuck.
nah.
No, they do not. So
Yeah, how do you?
I just have my own. No, there are
Mhm.
systems out there you can leverage. Like I
So-
can use ChatGPT.
Here's a weird thing that I just discovered. So Essen was what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Almost.
Yes.
think so. Yeah.
Okay. There was a game that was shown there that I thought that there'd be some coverage of it. So unless they basically told people they couldn't talk about it, but it was shown in their booth. So
Wait, what?
I have no Dying Light?
Last light?
No, Dying Light
Dying light.
Dying.
from
Okay.
Glass Cannon Unplugged. It's
Yeah.
based on a video game,
Yeah, I know the video game.
but they were showing off the game there, and
You know what? I think I did see that.
I didn't see anyone talking about it.
Somebody's talking about it.
Uh,
I think I did hear about that. Is it on BGG? It's not even on BGG.
Like if you see
Noobs.
pictures of it, it looks
Yeah.
the board looks a little
Very
bit
little.
like
Yeah,
Apex
it says
Legends.
Dying Light brings the world of video game Dying Light and Dying Light 2 Stay Human to the tabletop as an epic scale board game. I mean, this is a video game company, right? Making a board game.
yeah.
Oh, it's a board game company.
It's a board, but they're making a video
Yeah,
game.
all of their games are based on video games.
They made Frost.
Oh,
They did the Frostpunk.
They made Frostpunk. They made Apex Legends.
So they just don't care about the board game world, I think, is my guess.
Glass Cannon Unplugged.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Glass Cannon because Glass Cannon had like some pictures on their Facebook page. I'm talking about like people who went there.
It probably wasn't available.
No, it wasn't available. It's coming to Kickstarter.
Okay.
The fact that no one said that they went by the booth and they tried it out or they got information on it or
1,000 games, man.
1,000. Wow, Scott.
Stand
you
out.
brought-
I mean, I think there was 500 new games in English that you could buy. 500.
That's
There was at least
ridiculous.
over 1,000 demo. With
I
demo.
love it. I love it.
How much? How many total? Do you know how many total were like English, non-English total?
I mean, I can look on BGG. What do you want to know?
I was just curious. You said you brought home 400. I'm just
Yeah, we
curious,
brought home
like what
400.
percentage of the total that came out at us and did you bring
Oh.
home?
No, we didn't get 400 unique. We probably got.
Oh, I
300.
didn't think of
Probably
that
got
duplicate
300 unique.
language.
We probably got
Yeah.
300 unique.
I didn't think of that.
Um, I mean, what is that? If there was 500 new and we got 300,
Yeah. 2/3. or,
2/3.
Yeah, basically.
3/5.
3/5. Yeah.
But there was obviously more games that were in foreign languages as well.
Yeah. So that's all. That actually shocked 400 in English. I thought it would be more.
It was 500 in English.
500, or even still.
500 new. Now, some of them were not really new to us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because
It was also it was basically
new to them.
new to
Yeah.
1,233 titles on the thing. You can filter by purchasable, standalone, for sale, apply. 847.
Okay.
And then if I filter on English only, $558. That was the 500 number I was banning about. No, there was a lot. There was like 100 expansions that for games at least.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A lot of games.
Eh,
Not slowing down.
no, unfortunately.
Great for the hobby.
I'm curious about this Dying Light thing. I guess nobody covered it.
Yeah, I'm just. The thing about it is there's apparently
for the press day.
right, but apparently they have figured out how to do parkour in board game mechanics
Okay,
with it.
that's cool.
Parkour.
Neat.
Is it? Is there like
Yeah,
an
because that's
ND
the one you play where you're in space, right? Like you're in 3-dimensional space,
Yeah,
and you like can fly up and down and
you're jumping from building to building and over things, and
Is there like a release date thing on this, Scott, or
no, it's going to Kickstarter in a few months.
Oh,
yeah,
it's not even
there's
made
hardly
yet.
anything on BGG about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to be fulfilling Apex Legends.
Yep. They're linking to their Facebook page, which I'm not going to click on because I don't want to read it.
I just saw a video where that was
They
one
want
of
to
the
post on
10
BGG.
things.
I'm not going to read it.
That was one of the 10 things I said for the Kickstarter tips.
Yeah,
Get your
Scott, I'm
ass on
with you.
Board Game Geek.
Get your
Because
ass on Board Game Geek.
Well, no, I did a thing. I was like, we're gonna look at just 3 random games. So I did Ticket to Ride, and it was like Days of Wonder, Board Game Geek, and I was like, I'm gonna look for a really old game, Uno Rummy, and it was like Board Game Geek #1, and then I was like a new game, Flamecraft. Board Game Geek was ahead of the website. It was like, this is the site that will make your game look real to Kickstarter backers if you're on here, and if you're not, you just don't look real to a lot of people.
Look here,
You need to get up on there.
Moose and Mimo, Tia.
Well, it's true. When I get look at a game and there's nothing on Board Game Geek, I'm like, all right, that's like, you should know this.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Get the process
Thanks
going
for spreading
sooner
the word.
rather than later.
Seems pretty obvious, but whatever.
Oh, yeah.
BGG.
It just and it's a spot for all your people that
stuns me
come.
that someone wouldn't take 5 minutes to post all their stuff. I mean, I guess it's too hard. Instant
God, I
gratification.
caught that smirk
I preach your
on the
gospel.
Moose and Memo
Yeah, I know. I heard it.
callback.
What is the name of the Marvel Comics imprint Clive Barker created in the mid 1990s?
Books of Blood? No.
Speaking of Marvel,
Because he made a Marvel imprint. Clive Barker.
Yes, when the Hellraiser books came out.
Was it Hellraiser?
No, but that's when it came out.
Razorline, it was called.
very nice. Speaking of Marvel, I'm glad you all survived the snap. It was a couple days ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So,
I think it was the 16th, no, 17th of October 2020. Oh, I heard Daredevil 2's having issues. Like they were going to bring the Daredevil show back, and they're like,
That's what
they
you talked about, isn't it?
no, they were in production, and then they went on. They have, I think it was like 9 episodes or something filmed, and then when they went on strike, they looked over it again, and they're scrapping that for now. I think they're like rethinking the whole thing. So if it does survive with the original cast and all that, it's going to be a minute. Yeah. But there was some, I forget who it was. Somebody said they're thinking about scrapping the original cast, a reboot type thing. It's a shame. I like that show.
Well, I think one of their problems is they may have had issues with Disney
Yeah, I'm certain of that. I mean,
because Punisher is prevalent in the Daredevil Reborn. storyline.
Yeah.
These questions are too hard.
Too high.
Yeah, they seem pretty hard for me.
They're pretty hard. Well, it's a drag. I was hoping they'd be a little more accessible. But trivia.
Trivia.
Well, it's almost one, I suppose.
You
You can
should
call it.
Gotta hit the dusty
Yes.
trail.
It's been a long day for
Time
you.
to hit the old dusty trail.
Get up early for jury duty at noon.
Oh,
I
I'm so
was just gonna
jealous.
say, I
That
should-
jury
That was today.
Yes.
That was today.
How was it? How was it?
Boring. Didn't get on jury. Just sat there for 3 hours. 4
Oh
hours.
my god, that sounds great.
They paid you $11
great.
an hour though, right?
I was cold, shivering.
Yeah.
$11 a day. What are you talking about? An hour?
$6. I got $6.
$6.
And you were shivering, like,
Yeah.
did you
it's-
not bring a coat?
Yeah, I bring coat. I brought a coat. Didn't help.
No.
I got problems, man.
So do I.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I've been
Yeah.
It's one of the
freezing
best
for
things
weeks.
about
I think
moving to
it's related to
Connecticut.
the medicine I'm on.
Could be.
What's that?
In Connecticut, if they tell you not to come.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have a call.
That is
I
nice
mean,
of
here's
them.
the thing: they don't know until midday.
Yeah, but like in New York,
Yeah.
if you get jury duty, like for they give you 5 days. It doesn't even like start on Mondays always. But like the first 2 days at minimum, if not the first 3, you have to go. And you literally sit there all day long. And then by the time the 3rd day comes, that's when the next
Wait,
group
people.
of 5-day people are coming in. And if you haven't been
Sit there
picked
for
for
5
something,
days.
they'll send you away.
Wow, that's.
They'll let you go home. And that's you're done.
I guess it's the
That's
price we
5
pay
days.
for being
Wow.
best country in the world, right?
Yeah.
There's none better, right?
Not in my opinion.
We
but-
got it ups and downs.
Some
I mean, I
people
guess
would
that's
say-
debatable.
I mean,
No,
I mean, here's the
it-
thing: in other
yeah.
countries in Europe, there's professional jurors. Would you rather be on a trial
No.
by a professional juror, or would you rather be a trial by your peers? I think my peers.
Well, the thing is though that 3/4 of the people who go to jury duty don't want to do it.
Nobody wants to do it
Yeah.
I do.
except you.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's definitely a good 20% of people. I'd say 1 in
I
5.
bet 1 in
people
5. Yeah, I would say 1 in 5.
That's fair.
Want to do it?
Do the
Yeah.
civic duty or just sheer curiosity or tell a story or
My mother's never been picked or never even been called in once, and I've
I've
had
been
to go
called
like
6 times, and I've been on 4.
yeah, I've been
Crazy.
called every single time I've been called, I've been picked. It just and then like I think I told you I think last time I got picked, I was like, I got so much shit to do this week. I really can't be bothered with this. I really don't want to do this. And I was just sitting there. And then I remember they were just like, and they pulled the whammy on me because they were like, okay, well, they said, we'll excuse jurors, so and so, so and so, so and so, and so and so. They just numbers, and they're like, yeah, you're free to go. And then they were like, and then they picked. I forget what it was, but it was like they had it was just one of those things too where it was like they had some people already sitting in the juror box, and I was like, okay, I think I'm out of here, right? And then they were like, jurors number so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so, and I was keeping track of the numbers in my head, and I was just like, oh well, that's like 4, and they still need 8 jurors, so I'm out of here. And I was like, yeah, I'm number 16. They're like, take a seat. I was like, God damn it.
Have you watched the show called Jury Duty?
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
You're like James Marsden.
Yeah.
I was
Great
just
show, by the way. If nobody's watching, we've talked about this on Amazon.
yeah, it was good.
So good.
Yeah.
The worst thing is to be the alternate.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to watch the whole thing, and then you gotta just stop and you leave.
Well, so here's the thing. So in New York, I got to alternate once. That's the only time I ever sat on a jury. I was alternate, and then it was funny because I don't know if you guys know who Ron Kuby is.
I know who Ron.
So Ron Kuby was very famous in the 80s in New York and for defending scumbags for the most part. But he had like a big ponytail and he was like 6'4", big huge guy.
Wow.
So I got on a trial where he was the defense attorney, but I'm an alternate. And they go through the whole thing, and then they have to go, okay, the jury's dismissed to deliberate. They take me and the other 2 alternates, they put us in the bailiff's office, and we sat at a table and we could not talk to each other. We couldn't talk about the case. We couldn't talk about anything. We could just sit there.
Couldn't look at a book or something.
Well, no, nothing. We just sat there and looked at stared at each other.
Torture.
And the whole time that we're sitting there, the 12 people who are actually in the regular jury are in the jury room deliberating. And we just sat there, and we sat there, and we sat there, and we sat there. And then here's the kicker of it all. They finally come up with a verdict. And then the three of us have to go home. We didn't even get to find out what happened.
You could stick around, I think.
No,
Really?
no, we were not allowed to go back in there.
The first case I was ever on, I was in college. And the alternates were in the courtroom when the verdicts were read. So because he stuck around, he wanted to hear what it was.
Yeah, no, we sat in the jury box at the end.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, you guys, they reached
But
the
you had to
verdict,
wait.
guys can
You had to
leave.
wait out the whole
Yes.
deliberations.
Yes, because the whole thing was because we heard the whole trial. So if something happened while they were deliberating, if some
Was this
lady
like
went into labor
was
or
this
someone
like
had a heart attack, one of us had to go into the jury room and deliberate with the rest of them.
Was this like a high crime?
No, it was a drug deal.
So it's a felony.
It wasn't even a major drug deal.
Oh, okay.
The guy sold drugs to an undercover cop.
That's illegal.
Nah.
No, it was.
Did you
And
ever
the
find
fu-
out what
the
the
best
verdict
thing-
was?
The funniest
outside of
thing
the-
was
like you had to leave. You're like, sorry, you can't stay and watch. You
this
could just
whole
basically
thing-
walk around the place, come back in, and be like a part of the show.
the whole thing occurred like 3
Unless it's a
years
closed
before the
courtroom.
trial. And one of the pieces of evidence that Rocco was trying to pass off was the money that was handed, that was folded up at the time. And he was saying, there are no creases on this $20. And he's like showing the thing. And I'm like, dude, it's been sitting in an envelope with all the other papers.
that was
from
the
trial
defense? It
evidence
wasn't real
for
money?
years. Money doesn't
The def-
stay with
The
creases
defense
on it
was
if it
that it
lays
was
flat.
monopoly money, and we thought it was just a joke.
Oh, but the whole thing was that the fact that the money was supposed to be folded up when he passed it over to him. There are no creases on this.
That was They gotta. Here's the thing: those guys, you go for anything, right?
Oh, it's friggin'
It's,
hysterical.
it's some little thing they nitpick away that they, people get distracted with stuff.
The worst.
I mean, the ones I've been on, I swing back and forth the whole time. Yeah, I've never been once 100% one way and never changed my mind.
Yeah, my dad used to get picked all
I
the
never got
time,
picked.
and then ended up on the grand jury for like the last.
Except for the DUI guy. There was no chance. As soon as they showed the video,
I'm like, yeah, okay, good.
he was
We're out of
done.
here.
We could have been done in a minute. Took 2 days. I mean, we went into the deliberations. I said, let's just do a secret vote and see where we all are. It was 8 guilties and 1 not guilty. And then so the lady who was not guilty, she just said, I just want to talk about it for a minute. Okay. We talked about it for 5 minutes and we re-voted and it was a guilty. Done. 1 hour. Could have been 5 minutes.
The civil trial, I was on one civil trial and that was the worst. And yeah, just basically, it was somebody who wanted a bunch of money from an insurance company and the insurance company was like,
that kind too.
yeah, I'm not going to do it. But it wasn't even so much that it was like one of those things where it was the thing that sucked about it was that the actual like trial took a ridiculous amount of time. It took like 4 days to get through everything. And then we were just about wrapping up and they were like, oh, it's like, we'll come back tomorrow. And there was like one more person that was going to be called upon to take the stand. It was like the victim's sister was going to come up and talk about something. And, or I shouldn't say victim, just the woman that was involved in the accident that she was the one suing for the money. Her sister was going to come up to the stand. But it was at the same time there was flooding going on in Fargo Moorhead. And there were 4 jurors that were in danger of having their house flood.
Yeah.
And there were only 2 alternates. So they literally said, okay, well, we're going to take a break, and then you'll be contacted when you're supposed to come back. And so it was like, if you Google up like the Fargo flood of the century, it like literally it was like people lost their homes, and it was, whatever it was, I'm guessing 15 years ago, 16 years ago. I mean, it was quite a while ago. And they left, and we were like, okay. And then finally, like, it was like almost a month later, I got the call, and they said, you got to come back in. So I went back in, and then one of the first things one of the jurors said was, Judge, I have almost no recollection of anything that was said prior to this. And so they started it all up again.
Oh boy.
It's just
That almost seems like a mistrial already.
well, and then they were like, okay. And then like we sat there, and then like, God, no, this is like 20 years ago. This is like 1998 or something like that. But anyway, I remember I sat there, and we went through the whole thing again. And I sat there, and we got done with it. And we ended up giving this lady a pittance. I mean, just because it was like, it was 2 weeks of my life. It was just horrible.
We did one of these things where the first question was like, who was responsible for the accident? And we were basically like, the person who was the lady who was driving was the responsible. And therefore it short circuits itself. Like if she's not responsible, then you go through all these questions of awarding money and all that stuff, but she's responsible. So you just basically, you're done. So you just say, she's 51% responsible for the accident. Stop. Done. That was it. That was a 3-day trial.
Seems pretty cut and dry.
That was a lot. That was a lot of time and I suspect a lot of money on their end. They didn't get anything.
Yeah, I
I
remember.
felt terrible for her. I mean, it was a disaster for her. I mean, one thing led to another in her life. They said it all stemmed back to this car accident they were suing insurance company for. And you're like, well, you were the one that got in the wreck. By the way, they didn't show any of the pictures of the accident, and we saw pictures of the accident after we left. One tiny dent on the driver's or the license plate. Like it was eliminated from the judge eliminated because it was prejudicial. I'm like, yeah, because it doesn't look like an accident.
Yeah.
Dent in the driver's license.
That sounds like a good lawyer there.
Yes, the lawyer got it off because of the prejudicialness of it.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
for,
we
good for them.
we got to ask questions of the both lawyers. It was interesting. Anyway.
And you see, you make it sound so sexy. I want to do
So
it.
sexy, Scott.
Well, you
Yeah,
should
it's
be.
gonna
You can still go to law school. You're young. You could do it.
I'm happy where I'm
You're
at.
motivated, aren't you?
God. Go hundreds.
Why do I feel like I'm
Make more
watching
money. You'll make
jury duty with Paulie Shore?
You could be the YouTube.
Jury
lawyer.
duty with Paulie Shore. I
All
actually
right.
started to watch Jamie Foxx and
Lance is trying to wrap it.
some other
It
guy.
is 1 a.m.
Hang out
Yeah.
after, because I'll tell you a story, but I still want to say it. I don't want to do it online.
All right. Bye, everybody.